they can definitely had support. I think he doesn't get that kill if it's not for Munyet being able to kill off the close player. But
welcome the back, back the welcome guys.
We've seen them have strong attack and halves before, so even a sort of
थोड़ी देर मेरे लिए बातें करने दो, मेरे को बातें करने दो, मतलब जस्ट मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ कि मैं आ चुका हूँ. वेलकम दी बैक दी वेलकम. स्टार्ट करते हैं पेपर एक्स वर्सेस जेनजी गाइस. मैं हल्का सा लेट हूँ, आई नो कि मैं हल्का सा लेट हूँ, बट let's go, okay, let's go.
Going up, really swinging. I think he's currently 12 and 6 KD on the board.
मैंने देखा भी नहीं है, मैं खाना खा के जस्ट आया ही हूँ.
PaperX tried to mid push, got denied. Now it seems like they're caught one foot in the grave. They don't know whether to continue on that aggression or reset for the later play, and Genji have not made a decision. With a minute 5 seconds on the clock, they don't need to rush. They're holding tight, waiting for PaperX to make the mistake.
They're so nervous of someone being within the smokes that are placed. Most of the time, those smokes are being put down by Munyet just to deter aggression, which is exactly what it's done. Texture, though, might have a fight because they're so passive. The operator could be so valuable. Backside once again, but the spike is looking to wrap around in the other direction. A peek out from something. Oh, I think Meteor's seen him, but it won't matter too much for now. He's going to activate the dash. Something goes peeking, but now I'm just looking at that timer. TP into the backside once more. It's been cleared out, so the spike will be able to go down. This almost has to be a complete retake.
Oh, yeah, right.
Nice shot by Lakia as well. There's his 13. Spike drop. An opportunity indeed with that spike down. 15 seconds left. It's time for Genji to get a move on. Munchkin has to step out from that corner, and he's been caught. They need a dive on that spike and get it planted, but PaperX are in their way. 4 rounds at the half. It's not a death sentence like you said, Tom, but certainly nothing to celebrate. This has been a strong performance from Genji. Lakia leading the charge, and plenty more left in the tank for this second half. You have to hope the PaperX have got something special planned on their attack, because this was a really scenario for them to have to fight back from.
Very good, guys.
It is definitely a troublesome position to be here, but the fact is, there's definitely still opportunities. Even still, though, you said Lakia's performing. Let's hear from him now.
안녕하세요. 젠지 e스포츠 소속으로 활동하고 있는 라키아 김종민이라고 합니다. 무엇보다 플레이오프에 진출하게 돼서 행복한 것 같습니다. 일단 첫 스타트가 되게 힘들었었고 오늘 또한 첫 경기 자체는 되게 힘들었는데 그거를 잘 극복해내서 좋은 모습 보여줘서 기쁜 것 같고요. 이제 플레이오프에 진출이 원래는 첫 목적이었는데 너무 이루게 돼서 기쁜 것 같고 남은 경기도 이제 잘 준비해요.
Point मैं समझ रहा हूँ.
Down to just one player actually within the site. They have to go running in though. Karon might be able to just ruin their day, and that's exactly what he'll do.
원치킨 선수가 젠지에 들어오게 되면서 저희 게임 스타일이나 그런 수준이 되게 올라갔다고 생각을 하고, 그리고 이제 네, 개개인의 실력 또한 이제 원치킨 선수가 저에게 콜을 되게 많이 해주는 게 피드백을 많이 해주는 게 있는 것 같다고 생각합니다. 자신감은 늘 넘치고 우리는 준비되어 있고요. 그리고 이제 진짜 더 잘하는 모습과 더 좋은 모습을 보여드리기 위해 잘 저희가 준비해야 될 것 같습니다. 이제 플레이오프까지
진출하게 टीवी लेना है मेरे को देखना है वो हाथ मिला कौन रहा है समझ रहे हो
며칠 뒤에
बहुत देखा मैं फोन में 2 लोग हाथ मिला रहे हैं एक छोटा बच्चा और एक आदमी लेकिन वो मिला कौन रहा है उसके मुंह तो दिखे इसलिए गाइस वी आर बाइंग अ नोकिया का टीवी उसमें आई होप कि वो दिख जाए दोनों
격려해 주시는 팬분들께 너무 감사하고 팬분들을 위해
뱀번 뭐 मस्त रस्ता वाता वाता इसी उस
Well, it was third time lucky for Genji last time
चलो भाई
facing
Genji
off against
चलो
PaperX.
PaperX मार well done something 4 सेकंड मार रहा है मैं उसी के लिए आया हूँ.
And now it's time for Genji to close this map out. At least that's their mindset
But
going in.
Genji
PaperX, their
अभी
attack
लीड
side
पे
is about to
Genji
be
है
put to the test. And the big
8-4
thing to write home about
अभी
last
PaperX
time
कम
was
बैक करेगा ऐसा
something
फीलिंग आ रहा है
diving
मेरे को
into sights.
अंदर
The thing is, he had a Yoru
अंदर का
causing a lot
फीलिंग तो
of
है.
chaos for him. Now it's a little bit
4
more
सेकंड भैया
conventional,
फुलम
but that's
फास्ट
never the name of the
जाएंगे
game with
आ
PaperX.
ये
In he goes. Something's looking for a fight.
चलो
Paranoia
भाई
is
चलो
perfect. Snake bite's even better. And with
चारों
1
तरफ से
HP,
घेर लिया गया
Lucky
बहुत
doesn't stand a
बेहतर
chance.
नाइस
The rest of the squad comes in to save him. But they've ended up falling
मीटर
to
अकेला बचा है 3 लोग बचे
3 versus 1
if we
with
have
Meteor
Genji
left standing
situation
at his back. Whoa! wide open. That's a mistake.
चलो ठीक
And it
ठीक
almost
ठीक
was a costly one too.
एंटी some
Yeah,
meteor
Manya needed to
बेटा
hit that headshot at the end. It looked like there was a
8 पे हो चुका आपको पता है W गेम प्ले फुल टू W होगा फुल
Even
W
still though, it is the pistol round for Paperex, and that is the thing. Even with this compositional change,
मेरे को एक बात
the
भी
thing
बोलनी
that
थी
it
क्या
adds is
आप लोगों में से
firstly,
किसी
you're
ने
gonna have that
Warzone
paranoia
मोबाइल
available
ट्राई
from
किए
Manya
हैं क्या
to sort of set them up in, as we saw at the beginning of that round. But also, it just
ये
almost,
देख रहे हो,
we're
ये
going
देख
to
रहे हो।
continuously see the switch up
भाई
of
इसका
who's going in
कोच
first.
भाई
You're going to have
डेंजर आदमी है
Forsaken sometimes taking space for something, maybe if he has that operator in hand, and something in that round taking space for Forsaken. They are a deadly duo.
पॉइंट पॉइंट अभी तो जिंग नहीं है जिंग होता तो फिर बूम बम हो जाता
They went to this comp after all. Nice shot by Meteor. Opportunity
Hey,
for
Vanoa.
more, and he's landed that shot as well. Forsaken's
yes,
very
yes.
low, a big help
Wallbang
to
लगा
any
वो।
teammates that end up taking that fight.
नहीं
They
रे
talk
Vanoa।
about the outlaw, but this man's making it work with the Marshall, the cheaper weapon.
ओ
Okay, an opportunity if they had a
Chingus.
spot player in the corner. Monjet,
Nice.
though, able to deliver the killing blow. Mind Freak fell to a snake bite after being... Oh! What is that push from Meteor? You will rarely
भाई
see a
गलत
man
मार
with
रहा
the goal or the gumption to do such a thing. Karen, 1 versus
So
2.
far away.
A serious opportunity. Yes, he's far away, but that might mean
But
by the
round
time
हाथ
he
में,
gets
round
here,
हाथ में,
he
guys।
could pick up a weapon.
ये किधर से आ रहा है
Depends though, because Paperex, that's the thing. The blitz plays of Paperex
स्टेल्थ
have been
गेम
so
प्ले
fast.
Assassin's Creed है ओके
There's actually still loads
Topi
of
बाज
time.
woman.
They don't need to over-aggress. They've just thrown out the guiding light, the flash, to get them a little bit of extra information. Still no weaponry found. Now, Karen does have himself a paranoia. He's brought up his full belt of utility. If he can somehow isolate one of these jewels, for now at least, it seems like he's waiting for that site to be taken. Smoke will give that away. The
वो नहीं
spike
आएगा
being
मेरे को नहीं लगता
planted.
कि वो आएगा
And now he can look to try and see if there's any
ओके
guns
गन
being
ले रहा है
had.
गन ले रहा है अब आ
Well,
सकता
there
है
you have it.
Thank you,
Let's
Yeti.
go.
Yeah, we've got a Bulldog to play with, 100 HP, a Paranoia
100
still
HP.
online, both smokes.
on left Sky
Timing is key.
peek ले
They smash
let's
it
go
together. That's a 3-2-1, perfectly on cue. They won the round, Tom. 3 players down. This definitely isn't how they would have wanted to start it. When I add to that it's a Marshall headshot,
ये
okay,
मत
what
मारो
can you
रे।
do? And another Marshall
Something
headshot
को
from a
टपली
guy
देती।
pushing a smoke close range, using it like a
टपली
shotgun. That's not going to feel great. And the other player
मार के
died to a
बेचारा।
snake bite. So few kind
उसको
of
मर गया
random engagements
मोली में वाइपर की
that ended up
happens
well, rocking the boat a little bit for Paperex. We'll see how they recover.
छुम्मा
And the
छुम्मा
thing is,
छुई छुई
the
खेल रहे
player
दोनों
you really don't
समझ
want those
रहे
ults to
राउंड
be
के
going
बाद
over to is Meteor. 3 away from the Blade
We are
Storm, even just a bit of
6-8.
damage in this round,
मैं
and
क्या
he'll
बोल
have
रहा था
something for the next.
comeback
This
okay
purchase from
Feeling आ रही
Paperex
है तो
has
comeback होगा
players now fairly low on cash. You've got Forsaken and Mind Freak down at 150 credits. So for the
Forsaken
next
जा रहा है
round, they
mid
might
से
get in a little
और
bit of
सामने
trouble.
Sky
Forsaken, though, he's just gone
उसको पेलेगा वो
He's sprinting
अरे
after
बेचारे।
Lakia, but he isn't going to be able to land the shot.
smoke से
At least for
Vandal
now.
very bad
It's only going to be the control that's lost for Gen G.
No heavy price tag associated with it. Down in vent, this is an
Oh, bhai.
hold 2 players and they're dropping in, landing on each other's head. It couldn't be easier for Lackey, a sign sealed
Guys,
and
देख रहे हो?
delivered to this man with the heal up for his
full
teammate.
camping
Munchkin's
power
gonna be
pro
back
plus
up in fighting form.
Reposition. This might be a flawless return to form as Devi's the only man left standing. A 1v5 scenario. Talk about can he do any semblance of damage. As said, they invested some extra credits into this round, so the next round's not exactly going to be pretty.
Sky bro please
Normally talk about saving,
गन
but
सेव कर लो
I think actually
लेकिन
holding on to
मरेगा
a gun
ये
here would have more value, and he's just been
पता
seen
चल गया
and knowing exactly where he is now.
तोता फोड़ दिया मुंह पे
I imagine there's going to be pressure placed onto this man. Blast packs could be thrown in, but it's just going to be the entirety of the squad looking to just jump down
चिंगूस
upon
ऊपर
him
है
within
3 लोग
those
पीक
last
लगे
few seconds. Well, it's not even
अरे 3
needed.
लोग
First
ऐसे आ
one
रहे
gets
हैं
the job done, and Gen G will extend their lead.
5 players
Let's
alive,
go.
you know, it's a little scary because it feels like since the
It's
very
a little
beginning of some of
scary, yeah.
these
Scary.
halves, Gen G haven't had a problem when it comes to economy.
अरे लाइक क्या मार रहा है
And I think for this 6-9 scoreline, Paperex attack side, they get a decent buy out of it. You know, it might even seem weird to put in the timeline. You lose the 3rd round after winning first 2. What's the issue? The issue is the damage done. 2 players alive coming out of both of those rounds. It meant constant reinvestment, and Paperex now left with a stinger and a sheriff light shields on most players. Some heavy disadvantages to play with, and that orb, well,
अरे यार
it kind of has worked.
इधर-उधर हो गया क्या और
But,
क्या देख रहे
not doing exactly
हो
what
का
they
हल्का सा
Don't
इधर-उधर
cover
हो
up
गया
above. They've had to re-smoke it Again, an explosive start to the round, almost a kill. Well, I say almost, they've ended up with 3. This is exactly what PaperX does. These fast-paced plays into the site. As mentioned, this was a weaker purchase. They had some pieces missing with that Sheriff and Stinger. Now that you look towards the players of Gen G, in this 2v4 scenario, Flash is already going to reveal Texture's position. And they've spotted Karen as well, although I say that, the peek out never really came in. The player behind the back of the site should have probably seen it. Now it gets a little bit more interesting. Space given to Texture, but it's both shots landed by Mindfreak. He's been quiet so far, but popping a couple of heads with the Sheriff isn't going to go amiss.
Well, this is definitely the time to wake up. You know, we gave the same caveat coming into the last half, and then Gen G ran away with it. But here, a challenge early on, and more importantly, a challenge with so many weaknesses on the board. I mean, this was a round where you have a couple of rifles, and what ends up winning it is a Stinger diving on the site, 2 kills out of a Sheriff to close the round out. Doesn't get much better than that. It was even a classic jumping around the corner to find one of those open goals in elbow.
It's also now you've
got 8 rounds in a row that were lost,
an 8-2 scoreline. The difference is now just 2. That's how close PaperX have managed to bring this. Going on to their favorite side, the B site, under serious pressure. Half the team still waiting patiently. Karan's reposition. It's Sublime. He's managed to TP behind them. He gets away with murder. Brilliant from Karan. We talk about picking this player out of ranked. He's put the rank play into the pro play.
And it works. You know, sometimes you just got to throw out those curveballs. You're focused on so many different things. You don't think the Lunatic's going to be up top, but my goodness, what a reposition from him.
Gajab mara,
gajab mara. Expected on the other side. And again, we fall back into economy discussion around this squad. They've been sitting pretty. They've been looking fantastic. They were able to obviously rebuy in this round because of the damage done early on. And well, they only really needed one of those rifles by the looks of things. A timeout called by PaperX as they can now feel that it's getting very late into this game. We're at a stage where if Gen G picks up one more, they'll be knocking on victory's door.
PaperX timeout.
Yeah, 17 and 14. He's had a great game, but I think that double kill from Munchkin, that tripled his kills.
Harry Potter light.apk?
Munchkin, sorry, I meant Mindfreak.
Yeah.
Munchkin's been doing well.
Yeah, Munchkin's got his triple kills. That'd be impressive. But yeah, no, Mindfreak's definitely had a quiet performance. I also think something though, like we talked about the duelist in this matchup. Other than I'd say even Forsaken, they've actually all been a little bit underwhelming. It's been other players stepping up in this matchup, and I think that's really what we're seeing at the moment is the depth of both teams individually, but more so just that interplay. I think we're seeing much better fundamentals out of Gen G, and it's mostly been those explosive plays from PaperX, like going off the back of a paranoia, everybody diving in together, and you see if it's even a slight bit disjointed like that round, Karan just pulls out a crazy play and is able to win the round for them.
मैं बात समझ रहा हूँ
7, as you said, everything on the brink here. Seekers.
मैंने पेपर सोलो को कॉल करके बोल दिया है कि भाई W ही मारना है अपने को, हल्का सा लेफ्ट वेट देखते रहो फिर W दबा दो. इजी है, मैं सिखाया वैसे ही खेल रहा हूँ. देखा W फुल W. Left में एक भाई, right में भी एक, left में भी है. भाई fake था वैसे.
We need to see the return for Gen G as another is found. Something falls. 2 rifles still in play. Seekers still in play. And a few flashes here and there. 1, in fact, just on Divide.
Full split.
Not a lot for them to fight their way back through with utility, but it's this man's position that might get them something. He's found another with the weaker weapons. This man's an animal. Oh, he's being put down. And for PaperX, they look to take it elsewhere, but those steps are heard. Meteor's in position, unbeknownst to them. They might have her trail, but
more
difficult to deal with her cleanly. Mindfreak,
अरे क्या हो गया, उधर एक पिक मिल गया उनको, इधर भी बी में भी पिक मिल गया, समझ रहे हो? तो फिर ये लोग बोलते हैं कि मिड से पुश कर देते हैं पूरा, इसलिए मर गए ये लोग. देख रहे हो, मेरे को पता है क्या हुआ. मैं पूरा गेम में हूँ उनके.
That's the thing. He's literally just playing with him because he knows that flank is coming. I really love it. It was brought up by Lack here in the halftime interview that he believes that playing someone like Munchkin has brought a lot of depth to his own play style. And you can just see the intelligence even in this round. He literally just pulled Mindfreak towards him. He had no plans to fight him at any stage. Wants to just play the higher percentage play. And that's why Gen G have been able to convert a lot of these advantages. And for PaperX, a lot of the time I don't mind these gambles,
भाई क्या खेल रहे हो तुम लोग?
has been one of the sort of glimmers of hope. So
आते ही नहीं मैं VCT में नहीं आना तो
has to get something. Otherwise, it's just now a push without him.
भाई वो बहुत गर्म हो रहा है bro.
It didn't work with him.
You know, the thing is for PaperX right now, at an eye test, you might think it's not doom and gloom. 11-7, 4-round gap, it's not that bad. It's a chance for them to fight back, albeit here with weaker weapons, but they've looked good there. The problem is, they've won 4 of those 7 rounds off the pistol and follow-up. Like, the injection of rounds early half makes this look like a much closer game than it is, but Gen G have been dominating in rifle rounds. Now they've got 4 ultimates to fall back on, up against weaknesses, but no Lakia. A big opening kill for the side of PaperX, as Heaven could now be theirs. Gen G might start to panic, might make a mistake, and with Munchkin inside the smoke isolated, that might just be the mistake they were looking for.
Oh, this could be big! He actually switches away, and it's just going to be the shot.
Meteor is smart. Meteor is smart.
He starts off the round and ends it as well.
12-7.
This map looking over. As you said, in terms of buy rounds, we've barely seen anything. 3 of them, in fact. Well, guess what, Mitch?
Mindfreak भाई थोड़े से हिलबिले हुए हुए.
5 in a row, up against 4 ultimates. Only the Blade Storm that's
ये
gone. Like, keep in mind, Gen G have a full buy with Seekers, with a Viper's Pit, with a Showstopper.
Professional. बैठ जा बेटा.
So that's a lot for this defensive side to close out this game. If you remove those ultimates, it looks like they'll close out the game because they're winning almost all of the buy rounds thus far. The closer rounds for PaperX have been individuals, and they need to show up individually and together. 5 in a row needed, and the challenge already underway.
अच्छा बेड बने क्या?
Down early utility to try and slow
वो मेरे को समझा नहीं इतना उड़ के वो स्मोक कर रहा है.
The fact is, he underestimated the pacing. Lakia in the corner.
मेरे को लगा रेडियन गेमप्ले मेरे को दिमाग से रेडियन
utility usage in this round. It leaves now Karen. He's had some magical plays.
पेलो. क्या मार रहा है वो? ऐसा घूम के मार रहा है 360.
Past him. Now there is a flank, and no one really watching.
Moniet मरता है.
Was doubting the player behind. Also a 1v1 taken, but it won't matter in the end. A 1 versus 5. Some serious mistakes needed, and Moniet's going to put him down immediately.
इसको बोलो.
Okay, there
चिल्लाए
it is.
नहीं.
The start of the way back for this squad. They've actually managed to deal with the vast majority of the ultimates as well there, Tom. Gen G are left now with just a Viper's Pit. We listed all of them last round. They got used, they found nothing. So not only winning a buy round, but winning a stacked buy round in terms of ult economy. And they've still got some left to play with themselves. The Blade Storm can help out. The Pit can win rounds. And with 4 needed, Gen G are finally seeing some negative economic state. They're all
for second भैया. भाई W दबाया उन लोगों ने क्योंकि last round है ना.
Double. He's got his teammate Meteor with him, and they're absolutely extinguishing the flame of PaperX's early fight. This squad's going to have to go back and reconsider, surely.
Yeah, I like this. Just a direct counter. These A-side takes have been
हल्का सा round देखते guys. Intense हो रहा है.
Although they might just about win 2 duels. A little bit dangerous.
Spamming.
And because of that, being able to get rid of Meteor is a big pick, because that was looking like map control and a man advantage for Gen G. Instead, much more of a problem. And also bear in mind, Lakia is the only one who can't be healed.
यहाँ पे भी चेक करके चलना होता है. यहाँ पे तो मैं रैंक पे ऐसे चलता हूँ. गाना गाते हुए.
You see how much space they lost, because this Viper's Pit isn't just stopping a push, it's stopping all of PaperX's plans. Their plan was to blitz A, they get slowed, they get stopped, and now they have to go back and re-clear everything. Even if there's not a player flanking, if they're just pushed up in B main, holding that aggro intel, you're going to find it very hard to actually dive in. Now this TP is to B site, up top it's going to be broken last second with something down below, spotted and taken down. Gen G have the advantage. They're going to challenge Munchkin inside the pit. And what a mistake that was. Welcome to his world. With Munyet, the last man standing in a free kill presented. He's got 3 more to go. He's found the 4Ks in the past, Tom, but this would be exceptional. Good luck to you, and good night.
Phantom खेल रहा हूँ मैं कल
से. It just wasn't enough there. And the
फैंटम
fact
खेल
is
रहा हूँ,
the
स्प्रे ट्रांसफर कर
running
दूंगा इधर से
of that
इधर
Viper's
मारा
pit with the
उधर
spike,
मारा
they needed to clear
बूम
that
बेबी
man out immediately.
आई एम द
It
प्रो
did not happen. A
दूसरे दिन
stellar
विसिटी
map, losing both
और
pistols
तीसरे दिन
and only
विसिटी
losing
मास्टर
8 rounds. What a
चौथे
performance
दिन
from
मेरे
the side
पास
of Gen
ट्रॉफी
G.
होगी और
It's
आप
even
बोलोगे
more
नीगो
impressive
भाई
considering
नीगो
Munye
भाई
on
मैं
paper
बोलूँगा
lacks a player that we've highlighted
मैं
again
जो
and
भी हूँ
again. There
जैसा भी
was a
हूँ आपकी
big
वजह से
talking point, not just from the desk, but even from the team
ये सस्ता
themselves
शाहरुख खान
when they
की
were
कहाँ
being
से कर देंगे
interviewed.
आगे कोई नहीं
And he comes out fragging. The calls were
अरे
good. We
इसके बाल
had
तो
some
देख
good fake plays, but
डेंजर
at the end of the day,
कोई
this
बात
was a
नहीं
Gen G map.
हैपेंस
13 to 8 doesn't sell it. This was
इसके बाद वाला
convincing.
जीतेंगे
And now they move on to their pick
सब
of Lotus.
अरे बाप
after
का
this.
दादा का भाई का सबका बदला लेगा तेरा फॉर सेकंड समझ रहे हो आवाज थोड़ी सी उधर उधर हो गई बट मैनेज कर लेना गाइस क्योंकि बजट लो है एमलेक्स दोस्तों एम डिप्स कीजिए एम बढ़ाइए और पेल दीजिए मैं अभी कमेंट करूंगा ओके एड्स पे आप बताना कैसी है ठीक है इधर उधर है समझ रहे हो एम ले अगर आप भी थक चुके अरे यार अगर भाई ये लोग स्क्रिप्ट के हिसाब से नहीं जा रहा है स्क्रिप्ट से हिसाब से नहीं जा रहे लोग मैं नहीं कमेंट्री कर रहा ब्रो स्क्रिप्ट ओके क्या आप अरे यार स्क्रिप्ट के हिसाब से नहीं जा रहे मास्टर योर गेम ओमन गाइस अभी इस पे कमेंट करते ओमन लैपटॉप ये देख रहे हो आप भी इस तरह उड़ जा सकते हो गेम के अंदर एफपीएस की बारिश होगी ऐसे ही आप स्मूथली उड़ोगे रेट रेसिंग था क्या नहीं सॉरी ट्रॉफी नहीं मिलेगा टॉफी मिलेगा पॉइंट गाइस मेरे को एल्पेन लिबे देना एल्पेन लिबे और इक्लेयर्स समझ रहे हो दोनों चलेगी मजा आता है यार और वो भी चलेगी वो खट्टी मीठी कौन सी आती है खट्टी मीठी या उसका अभी के लिए नाम रखते खट्टी मीठी टॉफी हो गया रेड बुल्स गिव यू वन ये थोड़ा ओरिजिनल हो गया नहीं टीम नीड अ कैरी गाइस कल से रेड बुल चालू इसमें लिखा हुआ है फिर मैं केस कर दूंगा कि मैं टीम कैरी नहीं कर पाया समझ रहे हो फिर उससे अपन क्या करेंगे रन करेंगे सारा पे साढ़े रहेंगे रेड बुल से और फिर उससे गाइस हम बनाएंगे अपना गेमिंग पीसी फिर मैं गेमिंग पीसी में खेलूंगा गेम और 240 हर्ट्ज पे स्मूथली अपने आप को मरता हुआ देखूंगा वैलोरेंट में गाइस दिस इज माय ड्रीम समझ रहे हो क्योंकि पीसी होने से कोई प्रो नहीं होता 2 और 13 ओके समझ रहे हो तब तक हम थोड़ी बातें कर लेते हैं पेपर एक्स वर्सेस जेएनजी की बात करी जाए अगर मेरी एनालिसिस 3 मिनट 30 सेकेंड बिहाइंड से कमेंट सिंक नहीं हो रहा मोमेंट से क्या बात कर रहे हो क्या बात Nani? Is my stream is delay? What I have to do? I have to fix it, right? कल करूंगा यार फिक्स अभी करूंगा तो इधर उधर हो जाएगा स्ट्रीम खत्म हो जाएगी समझ रहे हो मैं एक तो हूँ फुद्दू समझ रहे हो तो अभी के लिए तो हल्का सा एडजस्ट कर लो ओके आप भविष्य में थोड़ा चले जाओ 30 सेकंड फिर बूम बाम कर सॉरी माय बैड लो आईक्यू गाइस लो आईक्यू गाइड तो ये पंखुड़ी आ रही है गाइस कब आ रही है मेरे को नहीं पता क्योंकि मेरी आधी जिंदगी ऑफिस में चली जाती है ए नाइट बोट ये नाइट बोट कहां से आया यार मेरे पास तो नाइट बोट ही नहीं है अरे मैंने कल ही निकाला था नाइट बोट को ये ओरिजिनल वाला नहीं है तू फेक है नाइट बोट समझ रहे हो फेक है ये अगर तू असली वाला नाइट बोट है तो मुझे सुपर चैट करके दिखा नहीं हो सकता माय बैड 49 सेकेंड 48 सेकेंड वी स्टिल हैव टू गाइस हैंग इन देयर ओके हैंग इन देयर बस 40 सेकेंड मेरे साथ रुको फिर मैं तुमको दिखाता हूँ गेम प्ले डेंजर वाला मैं नहीं दिखाऊंगा ये दिखाएंगे हम सिर्फ इस पे चर्चा और विचार करेंगे कि हम इसमें से क्या सीख सकते हैं और कितना हमारी औकात में आता है समझ रहे हो औकात में रहना जरूरी है यार इजी तो है सेंटिनल वर्सेस लाउड भी है दोनों के दोनों देखेंगे 12 बजे तक करेंगे जब जितना होता है उतना ओके क्योंकि आपको पता है फिर ऑफिस इज इक्वल टू मनी इज इक्वल टू समझ रहे हो हनी कौन बोला हनी कौन बोल रहा है निकलो मेरी चैट से भाई। मनी हनी तो मिल जाए तो कोई देरी नहीं है मुझे। चालू हो चुका है दोस्तों VCT मास्टर्स। ओके अभी मजा आएगा। अभी हम अपने चर्चा पे विचार करेंगे।
So solo, of course, a lot of teams talk about how PaperX is a very shocking team to play against. We don't know them well, but Gen G does know them well. So how do you as a team dissect their style?
페이퍼렉스가 익숙하지 않으면 플레이 스타일에 상당히 당황하기 마련인데 좀 젠지 같은 경우에는 페이퍼렉스 스타일에 대해서 충분히 잘 알고 있고 잘 분석이 돼 있잖아요. 페이퍼렉스를 상대로 좀 어떻게 경기를 풀어나가려고 하셨나요?
ओके 일단 समझाता हूँ। वो बोल रहे पेपरएक्स इतनी खतरनाक टीम है, उसके सामने आप कैसे वो कर सकते हो इधर उधर। समझ रहे हो? इतना समझ गए ना तुम लोग। अब आगे मेरे को पूछ लिया करो यार, मेरे को आता है।
저희도 공격적으로 하자는 식으로 많이 얘기를 많이 하고 있고요.
얘기를 많이 해 मतलब वो फ्लैंक करके आ रहे हैं। यस पॉइंट।
저희가 피지컬이 좀 더 좋은 것 같아요.
उनका गेम प्ले स्टाइल
Of
W
course,
वाला है।
PaperX infamous for their W gaming. But
बोला था ना कि W भाई यार मेरे को आता है यार, समझ रहे हो?
heads too today. So we just came into this matchup with the mindset of, you know what, fight aggressive teams with aggressive attitude. You know, don't be afraid to take those fights. Don't give them too much respect. And I feel like we're just having a really good day overall.
Yeah, it's looking really good for Gen G, so
thank
you very much. Let's see if they can close this out.
चलो चालू कर दो गाइस। पपलू वाले लोग आ चुके हैं जिनके पास बहुत सारे पपलू हैं। इसमें से मेरे को एक बतख चाहिए, एक बनी भी चाहिए और एक भालू चाहिए और गेको का भी वो चाहिए। गेको का पपलू।
Yeah, to be quite honest, I think that Gen
अभी
G
बात
looked
सुनते हैं
like a better
जलपरी नहीं
PaperX
फोन
in
पर
this game, right? They had the ridiculous individual moments, they had the pop-ups, but they also had excellent fundamentals. You compare the info these two teams were getting on their defense with the Sky Util. Gen G was always on point with the rotations, setting up reclears, swinging together, whereas PaperX looked like a team who was, you know, playing for the individuality.
Yeah, and the telling thing for me is Gen G willing to step into that zone with PaperX, where, you know, you have the fun pre-techs or, you know, stacking up bodies and looking very aggressive engagements. Gen G, we're getting down and dirty with them. I'm kind of coming out on top.
Yeah, left side corner में वो कूलने लग रहा है.
Come into this a lot, and here he is in the Ryzen high-speed moment, round 17. I mean, you gotta check your corners, man.
ये थोड़ा
This
इधर
is
उधर हो गया
exactly
था.
the sort of scenario that I'm talking about, right? Making plays like this, getting ahead of this execute. You lose to PaperX when you allow them to execute onto you, come up, play very aggressive and carry. I mean, Tom nailed this as well.
Oman को delete करो रे गेम से.
That catches PaperX off guard. Because they don't expect people to match their
Oman
level of unorthodox.
I think that's exactly the point, right? They're used to teams playing back, cowering in fear, playing for flood
दो को मार
against
के
a
आओ.
squad like this instead. Gen G can give it to them. They're so willing to get proactive, to fight into these executes, and their site anchors were constantly staying alive, doing stuff like that, and actually buying time for the team to rotate over and help everyone out, which you contrast that to PaperX. Their players were trying to do the same thing, and they were getting owned by the executes.
मैं नहीं देख सकता bro, आपको ऐसे नहीं देख सकता. थोड़ा बूम बम हो जाए. थोड़ा strategy gameplay कर दो ना. W gameplay तो बहुत है. Strategy कर दो. बिडिंग कर दो थोड़ा. भाई इतना बड़ा करो सर.
I mean, he was looking pretty deadly at the start of this map here. Again,
Monet ने बाकी भाई स्मर्फ खेला.
Forgot he was put onto the Omen.
बहुत डेंजर खेला वो.
For some reason, jumping in, but there's just a number of situations where
मेरे को भी एमलेप करना है.
Yes,
मैं भी एमलेप डाउनलोड करूंगा आज.
aggressive plays the PaperX.
फिर मैं भी एमलेप करूंगा और फिर मैं भी मोनेट बन जाऊंगा.
Came down to one person delivering at the end of that sort of play, as opposed to the typical PaperX, too strong on the front line, fragging together.
And I think that's
मैं 4 सेकंड की तरह ही खेलता हूँ. बस वो घुस के मारता है और मैं मरता हूँ. हल्का सा इधर उधर है. बाकी गेम के साइड से. और वो कोई भी एजेंट खेलता है, घुसता है, मारता है. मैं सिर्फ जेट खेलता हूँ और घुसता हूँ और मरता हूँ. देख रहे हो? हल्का सा डिफरेंस है. इतना ऊपर नीचे नहीं है. समझ रहे हो? थोड़ा सा मैं बात कर लूँ. इन लोगों की बातें तो चलती रहेगी. तो हल्का सा डिफरेंस ये है. ये आ गया कोच, इनकी बातें सुननी पड़ेगी.
That, you know, although the team struggled on that map, once the side switch and PaperX was on attack, you got some of that momentum back. And we do know that the team is a very momentum-heavy based team. So what do they usually need to hear, like maybe from you, in order to get that push, in order to, you know, get that swing into their favor?
Point.
I mean, usually momentum comes when you win some rounds, you know. So I try to just figure out how to win the round. And then if it goes well, you know, then we can snowball.
And I guess calm them down a little bit and make sure that they get their nerves in check, yeah?
I guess so.
Yeah. Okay, let's see if Paper X can wrangle in those nerves and get map 2.
Alex, you've done this before. You made the comeback before. Come on, boys. I want to see them have some.
करेगा रे comeback होगा.
Dude, Yinsu,
Lotus में होगा comeback दोस्तों. मेरे साथ जानने के लिए. Sorry, मेरे साथ जानने.
Looking at this comp, what is this, Mike? The fourth new.
समझो थोड़ा मेरे कमेंट्री पे ध्यान दो. हाँ, मेरे साथ बने रहिए देखने के लिए नहीं, जानने के लिए मेरे साथ में. स्क्रिप्ट में इधर उधर है थोड़ा. सॉरी, माय बैड. मेरे साथ बने रहिए जानने के लिए. Yes, finally I did it, guys. This is how I like to win.
Way more readable because you only have one piece of smoke, Util. I think that Forsaken is going to have to be very specific with how he uses his cages to make up for not having this Viper.
4 second cypher, guys. देख रहे हो? Strategic gameplay complete.
His inability to really have impact alone on his utility and opening up opportunities for Paper X in the mid round was absolutely.
अबे कोई भी लोग रे W gameplay नहीं करेगा रे.
With the Astrocom, so really going to be scrutinized.
की तरह मत खेलना. थोड़ा संभाल के खेलना ये राउंड अपने को चाहिए. अगर वो जीत गए तो फिर एलिमिनेट हो जाएंगे.
And Tombiz, how are you guys feeling about this one?
Well, Yinsu, I'm feeling excited because at worst, we should have a good game on our hands. Last time around, Gen.G won both pistols here on this map, and it was still a very close game.
Pistol round चाहिए, please. Pistol round is needed.
Now, Tom, they come in with momentum on their backs, and a map that they've put the prep
into. Let's go, guys. Let's go.
Paper X,
let's go.
It's looking like elimination might be on the line soon.
I don't mind the change back, because obviously this isn't the comp they played last time, but it is the comp they ran versus Heretics. I think it's slightly better for them overall. Still has something on the Jet as well, because they had a similar comp to this, but with him on the Reyna. I think this just allows him to do more damage.
अगर मैं बीच में बोलते बंद हो जाऊं, इसका मतलब मैं थोड़ा ध्यान दे रहा हूं.
They had that 3-man push initially. Didn't expect anybody to still be around the angle. Because of that, they've lost the first battle.
बाकी 4 बाकी अभी.
One man down already, but the rest are rotating into the right spot. The read is good from the side of Gen.G as they move to the A site. Here comes Paper X diving a little quicker than expected, but there's the return. They're not expecting this many players to be on that defensive side already. Anchored down, and they're winning the fights, leaving Devi all alone. The 1v2, good damage done, and the follow-up, and he's out of ammo. Knife out, wins! He brought a knife to a knife fight. 3 kills already. This guy's been sensational.
बड़ी नाइफ रखा हूँ मैं साथ.
Got respect from Karen. He's like, you know what? I'm not gonna be the coward. I'm not gonna go and reload.
Respected it.
I'll take you in the 1v1. Well, I'll win it out. And that, well, Paper X, that was again. We talk about the advantages and their conversions.
Happy birthday हो गया यार.
What was that? 5v3. As they get into the site, they get the initial opener and
they
get
an entry,
is good. And then they don't convert the round.
It's
good work from Gen.G, but you always have to look at Paper X and go,
लेकिन उसमें ओमन ने कुछ भी करो,
to be able to convert. Not the start they were looking for. And again, we're going to see the same proactive approach from the defense, constantly looking to garner extra control. And Paper X, they're going straight into the site.
Oh yeah, look, they're willing to dive. You can tell that as soon as Munyet picks up this agent, and well, he very nearly died to the turret. Not a good start, but Spike should at least be plantable. No nade left online. Let's go.
Oh, Chingus!
Happen. Position. It's only deducted about 10 HP or so because he was so low. So the problem now is you have to fight back through all these close range angles where Paper X have the numbers to play with on a lot of the fights they're going to take. Decent damage. Follow up. And then it's cleaned house for Gen.G. 2 players lost.
Texture!
Yeah, could have been much worse. Interestingly, yeah, something buys shields into that round. So maybe hoping that they could get a kill and he could steal a gun away, but doesn't come to fruition. Texture as well as one off a shot into round number 3. So especially on this map, it definitely is a little bit more difficult for challenge.
Texture थोड़ा danger नहीं मार रहा.
Might mean that we see a bit more of an
भाई GA में भी ऐसा मारता था. Sorry, my bad.
Well, this is where we are
Pearl में कैसा मारा था पता है ना?
She'll be happy. Forsaken is already bringing in an Odin.
Listen, he's a wise man.
Texture तो है भाई. Texture तो है.
He's just proven my point, isn't he? You won't expect this off rip if you're Gen.G, and a little bit of danger. Crosshairs lined up on his head, and it's done some damage, some serious damage by the looks of it.
Hey, अभी से start कर दिया क्या? गुरु.
Textures tagged, Lucky is dropped. And we can continue on with the spams. Heals for most players. Devi the only one to stay quite low, not having anyone to bring him back to full fighting health. They're in a pretty good position. The close range
spot bronze का बड़ी मैं रख रहा हूँ कल से.
Be left unchecked. There's still a flash on Devi.
Bronze का बड़ी OP in the chat.
Pop as they move forward. No, in fact, it's just a double swing and the same thing there. Exactly. Clean trades for Paper X.
Yeah, it looks like it's just going to be fight after fight. Meteor now.
मैं हल्का जेंजी के साइड नहीं हूँ, मैं पेपर एक्स के साथ हूँ, हल्का सा और हल्का सा जीतने वाली टीम के साथ. Guys, we never, मैं किसी में भेदभाव नहीं करता, समझ रहे हो? I have to be a neutral. फेल दिया. गन सेव कर ले, वैंडल. अबे इसको घूमे के मारेंगे सब लोग.
Shields and with a bit of dent to their health. They're sinking also with no shields and no head anymore. This is getting very costly.
अरे इसमें तो वो आ गया. ए भाई मैं तो डिलीट कर रहा हूँ, ये गेम रैंडम है भाई.
He's quickening his pace to the site. The time is so desperately low and he doesn't know where Devi is. The element of surprise gets Paper X the kill and the round.
Finally.
But at what cost?
Everything. Absolutely everything. Every single gun just goes for over.
By almost
was going to have a gun in the next round anyway. Like I understand wanting to earn those extra orbs up, but this is one hell of an overextension. Just constantly fighting versus a player that had a bulldog. Munchkin, well, you can already see him smacked. It's not the only thing getting smacked.
मेरे को लग रहा है आधी VCT तो ऐसे ही Alex ही वो हो रहा है ट्रिगर बेचारा.
Chance for Gen G to shut down the way back through for Paper X very early on. We know this is a map that both teams can hold a tight contention, but with Gen G having done that extra work on it, picked it into this series.
Let's go.
Paper X. It's early times just now, but with showstoppers online for both squads, we knew this was coming. Munyet's on the way, head caught on the arch on the way through. It slowed him down enough and actually bought some time for Meteor to escape. And for Munchkin to round the corner, no one's going to go down to that showstopper, but it's claimed a lot of space.
Yeah. Oh, they don't realize how close Karan is. He had to move because of the Tiger. Monya's going to try and aggress. This is risky. Multiple players on the other side. Showstopper, he should be dead. He actually almost manages to catch one. Even still, though, for Gen G, this is looking fantastic. Timing couldn't be worse or something either. It's going from bad to worse for Paper X. They need to find a miracle through these spams. At least been able to get one, but they don't know if the player's still on the spike. The second tab will definitely help them out, but it's no Odin just going through. Too many bullets to dodge there for Gen G. They break back immediately. And while we mentioned them losing all their players, it's going to hurt now.
Yes, it absolutely is. Now you see the butterfly effect of that. Well-placed showstopper by Textures. We said there were two online, only one found its mark. And then the chaos afterwards. Every time you see someone on Paper X turn their crosshair to look towards an angle where they've just seen someone swing or they've just lost a teammate, they get shot in the back because that's the exact timing that Gen G go for the retake on all sides. Gorgeous stuff. 3-1. Odin being kept through. Lakia going way up in my estimations, let me tell you, buddy. And the spams, well, they're not having too much success, but they don't need to. In this round, Paper X have basically nothing to play with. 4 sheriffs.
Well, nothing to play with.
They've already taken
control.
That's the main reason.
Please.
Aggressively up. It's allowed for a gamble rotation. Moving that Odin elsewhere. Not the most common door to spam because you are open to a couple of angles, but it won't matter. And this is the thing. We've seen this scenario many a time. Find a kill, TP back. Karan is excellent at knowing when to reposition.
Technical tane jayega.
They can leave those. Oh, spots open. This is ambitious.
Where is he going? Where is he going? He's made it just about around that corner, but well, that was risky. If they came through that wall, Tom, I'm not sure that would have went the way he was thinking. Spray good for Munchkin. It's a narrow alleyway to fight in, and wow, that's a lot of damage.
Oh, bhai,
no chance for Paper X here. Of course, we did mention they have those weaker weapons. They don't have a lot to play with. And they'll get nothing done. A flawless round in the economy, but Gen G off to a flying start with it yet again.
It's feeling reminiscent
of last map, but it is still very early days. Plenty of time for Paper X to find their footing. They don't want to waste time throwing rounds away. They've called a timeout.
That's the funny thing. We might actually get to the point where we can just highlight when Gen G don't have money.
Yep.
We'll just save time.
Yep. It's the play.
They've had it the whole time throughout the series. I like the pause
time out
for Paper X because this has been rough. And even looking back versus KC, they struggled when it came to this attack inside. A lot of that was a bit of a peculiar composition, but I don't know if this one's looking any better for them right now. Also, it has a lot of reliance, again, on this double duelist. And there was a moment or two at the beginning where I was like, okay, something looks like he's here to play. But ever since then, they're just getting boomed. And everyone on the other side for Gen G has looked utterly fantastic. In this round, at least, one off a Blade Storm. Showstopper, the only ult that isn't going to be playing a part in this round for either side. And Munchkin already having that Viper's Pit online.
ये कुछ बोल रहा है danger.
Alex needs to earn his money, otherwise I think PaperX are taking that fast track.
ऐसे खेलोगे तो नहीं चलेगा रे, ऐसा बोल रहे हो.
We'll at least get that third map out. You know, officials are a different ball game to talking about regional play, especially against a team you've already played on that map. You're testing so many deeper things, and I think for them, bombing out like this in the uppers, it wouldn't speak well for what's to be seen, because Loud Sentinels, they're not going to be any easier.
I wouldn't want to face up against either of those teams right now. Here we go, though. Again, early paranoia. I think this one is not really going to be played upon. I like the idea, again, using that haunt to get them space, but something, I think he's just going to disrespect the utility.
मैं note कर रहा हूँ सब.
Of these pushes coming through. He is getting pinged up, they know where he is, and Texture's already there to support.
That's it, they're trying to punish the Odin. They know that it's not easy to fight from this angle, especially when the door gets opened, and now he's dead. But that's what it's all about on Gen G, filling in the spaces and being able to fight afterwards. But with a return from PaperX, they've got a real chance. The headshot angle held by Mindfreak, but Meteor's just ducked underneath it, playing the limbo, and he's winning this game with Mindfreak down. It's 45 HP, and a dream turned to a nightmare. PaperX losing out on another. They had a good pacey take, managed to put the players on the back foot, and filled in every gap that Gen G were trying to stuff their way into. Always had someone to take that second fight. PaperX had someone to take the third. This time, though, they lose out when it comes to the post plan. You gotta say, they really could have used that round.
Yeah, this is one of those things as well where Meteor's in a 2v2 scenario. The amount of times I feel like I've watched him just get both kills and his teammates still rotating. Like he's just so confident at this stage in his individual ability, and even just ducking under where he assumed his opponent.
Sentinel set.
That was again another big round for PaperX. A lot invested, even having some decent early trades, but it isn't to be. And now, well, Blade is really all we could talk about, and they're still ready for his initial play. Almost goes down.
Has
managed to dodge that singular bullet fired by Texture.
Yeah, the thing is that's sending them
elsewhere.
Trying to claim some space by sneaking through. We saw good success for that. I think Monyet on the previous map was throwing out a few of those little feelers. But the idea now is you can't play up against that up. This ain't the round for it. Your Blade Storm's already gone, and everyone else has pistols. Close range, numbers advantage is the way to go, and they've done it, at least trading out the first. Karen, though, he has been consistent every single time they've challenged him. This guy's coming up with multiple. 7-2 right now. Teammate ready to swing, and luckily, because Karen was dropped very quickly, so too is Meteor. Hell, it's winnable for Divine, but his knife was pulled out, trying to evade some spams or some, well, players emerging from the smoke. Unfortunately, he jumped right into their crosshair. 6-1 for Gen G, and 4 ultimates online coming into round number 8.
Guys, I just want to share one thing.
Again, PaperX have made some of these rounds.
3 दिन की छुट्टी आ रही है दोस्तों.
Gen G are consistently able to clutch out the late round. Again, as you said, ults are in their favor, finances are in their favor. There's at least a lot coming online in this round.
Operator, something is on
operator. Can be invested into on something. He has had a very quiet start to this game, and a reaction shot from Texture already puts down Monyet.
You see the idea as well? We see the aggression. We try to take space elsewhere. Because Gen G are getting aggressive. Give them a taste of their own defensive medicine. This is a really good start with 4 ultimates to fall back on, 3 of which will help you out if you're in a pinch. For PaperX, where do they go? Where do they take it? Maybe they can get a neural theft if they can even drop a body. And they cannot. Kill with the Odin from Lakia. That's something dropped. That's the op down, and he's looking for a little bit more. I don't know where they're going to take this on the attack, but I think I know what the result will be regardless.
Forsaken's been quiet as well, and reposition. Nice shot at least. Will make things a little bit more interesting. The reveal as well will tell exactly where their opponents are. Knowing there's only one player here, the turret though, keeping things disruptive. And Meteor, again, full sprinting to help his teammate out. It gets close for a matter of seconds, but Gen G continue their utter dominance in this match. 7-1 on the defense. I don't know, yeah, second pause is going to be called for PaperX. At this point, I feel like they're running out of ideas. I also just did tidbit as well. Last 3 times. Gen G have won, played and won this map. 8 rounds on attack, 9 rounds on attack, 9 rounds on attack. They're 7-1 up on defense.
Direct थोड़ी देर के लिए रुका.
No, I would say that's very bad. If you're a PaperX fan.
That's quite poor. Yeah, and the reality is for PaperX, you're looking at the last time they played this map against this squad again. You know, I was looking back at that series, the last person to complain about Jet dying on the attack, right? Often that's your job. But here we haven't seen those dive plays as consistently. At least that hasn't been the crux of their attacking side. The problem is, how many rounds have we seen where literally 10 to 15 seconds in, it's 3v5. No control, no benefit for it. One guy goes down, they push somewhere else, that guy goes down, and they sit there with nothing to do.
Think about the spots that Gen G are also willing to claim. Like, they pushed out 2 players in all the way past Mound. They weren't even holding the deep angles anymore because what's the point?
And
they're going to try and swing through
with 2 players in the same round.
Yeah.
Right? So like, this is the thing. You even peek your head out and go, oh, are they rubbled? Yep, they are. I'm dead.
Yep, they're everywhere.
Now we have no advantage. We're playing
from
behind.
They're going to push B. It looks like they are. Insta smoke. B control being taken by 3 players. Just waiting to see if the push will come through in that direction. It's going to allow them the fast take back of this control. Paranoia immediately put through. The trade's not awful in the beginning, but they quickly divulge into nothing for the side of PaperX. Forsaken trying to claim it back though. Finally, he comes alive.
Well, this is the round that he needed to wake up in. That spike is theirs, and they can walk it straight to the C site once that door is closed. 16 HP, Mind Freak on 42, but Texture's got an op and an aid. And there's a snake bite left. This could be very, very dangerous indeed. Texture's not deploying the nade. Instead, sitting down. Op in hand, 16 HP, turned to 0. Nice shot with the operator as Mind Freak now is a nade below. He's safe up top. He's got the angle, could even pick off Munchkin. That could make it win, but Texture's a little too quick. I love it. I didn't think he could fire off that quick.
Texture है भाई, texture के सामने peek लिया.
As a negative, and then it's like, no, never mind.
Wide swings it. Like, all right, we're quick scoping now.
For time पे खेलते तो नहीं हो जाता क्या बोलते हो? उसको पास आना ही पड़ता है ऐसा मेरे को लगा.
Yeah. I almost wanted to say coming into this
unexpected place पे था वो.
It just has. It was 8-2 at least last time.
Yeah, it definitely is looking like a golf in class, which again, considering this is the #1 and #2 from the same region, that we've already seen them play a best-of-5 series that was a 3-1, and a lot of the maps were close. It looks like Gen G have leveled up, and for PaperX, I don't know if they've fallen off, because that's looking like the difference between these two is not the same we've seen before. All 5 ultimates, by the way. Gen G don't need them. That's actually the point we're in. They don't need the ults. They're just winning the rounds anyway.
Normally you'd be thinking at this point, oh, let's just throw 1 out just to see.
There you go.
There it is. Okay. Cycle the economy a little bit. Here comes the big rocket, and it's not landed. It's not found the value it needed to. The lockdown has been destroyed, and Meteor was tagged down quite a bit.
That's the value, right? That's the value. They got rid of the they got rid of the lockdown, so they can at least claim some space. He's screwed. There's no way he survives that.
It's a little messy. It's giving PaperX a
something
chance. They haven't planted the spike, but they don't need to if they win these fights again and again, and they have. Lakia dropped, leaves Munchkin 1v3. If he wins this, I'm putting the heads up down. They've got decent amount of HP, and they've lost Mind Freak. Okay, but it's all right. They've still got 2 players, no utility to play with. They've got to just take these fights, not 1 at a time. That's the only thing I beg of you. Not 1 at a time, not up against Munchkin right now. He's 11-4. He's been winning round after round, but a reposition by Forsaken. Nice. The swing is good. And the double peak wins the day, 8-2. Deja vu for PaperX. And, well, Gen G got to be feeling confident. The good thing is they used 3 ultimates there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They lose the rounds, they use the ults.
That's the weird
thing about it. And again, a lot of this just came down to some
technical difficulties aa rahi hai kya?
Finally putting a couple of kills on the board. The fact is they did peak Munchkin individually. First player peaks, dies. Second
something
gets
chal off dikha.
Finally they reposition. I think we would have needed a new desk
Something is
completely
open
for
there.
Alex
Something
if they
is
managed to
open.
lose that round, but it's scary that it even got close.
1 second में lane पे हूँ ना.
I think just get rid of the desk, man. Punching bag with
Easy
an LED screen in it.
Whose face is on it?
It depends on the game. Make it interchangeable. Well, Forsaken's picked off Karen. That's a fantastic kill. Look how open the A side is. And they've made that realization. There's no further challenge. There's no utility. There's no reaction from Gen G. So Forsaken realizes it's wide open and he gets caught by Lakia. That timing was near
बहुत गलत
perfect.
मारा है.
You have to, well, you call it a mistake. At the end of the day, he was open to like 6 angles. So he has to just be clearing those, constantly being paranoid about them. The site, though, is lost, and PaperX will find the plant nonetheless.
Showstopper online. Not wanting to allow them to set up. Something's going to try and get aggressive, but he's not going to manage to land the shot. Now, I think the flash through the back might have actually caught Munchkin. So he's going to actually reposition through B instead. Move away from the flank position. It's open. I think it's because Device having to check too many angles. The Seekers at least will give it away. Showstopper has been thrown in. He might get caught by all of the Seekers, but his teammates got his back, and that means he'll be able to kill off Mind Freak. The remaining players a bit of an obscure position. Monyet has not been cleared yet, and because of that, he's going to be able to deny the defusal. The spam doing so much damage, and now it's all on to Devi with an operator. First shot missed, but he just needs to kill the guy defusing, and he's done enough. There's no time left. Finally,
round.
Out the miracle rounds we've seen from them, but everybody will go down with the ship.
Well, it's the same thing as what we saw before, Tom, right? They're getting this little resurgence towards the end of the half. This time, PaperX didn't have the pistol to help them out. They weren't both on the previous map, putting them up 4 rounds, and they ended on 8. But here, they're doing it on the rifle rounds. They're doing it in the clutches as well. As close as they may come, it's still giving them that little bit of a heartbeat to continue on forward. Now, this round, the last of the half, Gen G come in with a Viper's Pit. That's going to be a problem to fight through on the defensive side, or potentially a very strong tool for retakes.
Man, it's scary when it's a Red Bull clutch that gets you your 3rd round, but as long as they're getting the rounds, I don't think they're going to mind too much. This battle is now changed. It was previously Karon being solo, and now it's Texture. And his operator has been fierce.
Point है यार.
Looks like they're going to go back into it. Is there a flash? Is there anything? No. No, it's just a dry wide peek by Monyet. Players up top looking to trade, but Texture's out of the angle too quickly.
मेरे से थोड़ा कम अच्छा करता है ऑप.
Giving him another shot, and it looks like another bite of this apple. As around comes another, but finally the miss is there. Texture gets the reset though with low HP. He's dancing around, but he's being caught. There was no escape this time, and with Lakia falling, a real chance emerging for an 8-4 half. It looks like PaperX have finally woken up. They've found some punch to be packed.
Full कर दे, Mind Freak को full कर दे.
He was on his way in. Up close with a teammate further away. Munchkin's making a lot of noise. They're trying to find an angle to deal with him, and instead running into Meteor. Well played. Now they can group up and try to force this 2v2 with Viper's Pit. That was a little scary.
Ulting पता चला है
but now they've got a lot of space as they close in the distance. No snake bites to play with though. That could help out, keep them way out of this pit, and with Munchkin falling, it's done. PaperX 8-4 at the halftime. They found some legs to stand on, some foundations laid. But the second half will be tough if they lose the pistol.
8-4 guys, same to same हो गया, split की तरह.
A streak of rounds, that's just disgusting.
भाई
इतना छोटे में पेल दिया उसने. I didn't even really see anything. That's how good Texture has been. But again, it's those player deficits that are actually what turn the tides over there. Well done from PaperX to at least get something.
Well, Tom, it's time now to toss this one over to Devi, who had some words to say earlier.
It's like a stressful game. I feel like, for me personally, I feel like we are playing against ourselves because the way they play is kind of like similar, you know. I mean, trying to outsmart them. I mean, they were very good. I would say they are smart, and they're kind of like one step ahead, especially on Lotus. We kind of like way behind them. Yeah, I think we were taking too easy, I think. I mean, they did exactly what we were watching them, like in the VODs, like they play the same, like they are not scared, even though these, like, I think for some of them it's like their first time in Masters. And yeah, I mean, very surprised with how they actually perform.
Yeah, you're going to be put to test, put to task. Oh, that's rough. Blinded, and Monye just popping off. Yeah, farm him up. Even spotting the right there. Over towards Shybox. This guy's on for it. He's absolutely on the money today.
Yes, to Thai.
Genji, I mean, the good thing is probably we might be able to get some revenge, you know. I mean, we lost to them in the Pacific kickoff, and yeah, I mean, I think Texture is giving us a lot of problem, like just killing us or like punishing us over and over. And also, Karon was playing insane as well.
By Texture, obviously.
But I think he's probably like the top player in the league. I think he got MVP as well in the Pacific kickoff, and yeah, I mean, insane. Yeah, maybe we go back and cook some strats, you know, to cook these two.
Cook कर मैं देख रहा हूँ. अच्छा होगा तो चक भी लूँगा.
15-9 exiting that first
half.
खिचड़ी
बनानी आती है क्या मोनियत भाई?
Player being something pretty good player, pretty well respected. He's got 6 kills, almost a third of what his teammates rocking. It's been tough for the side of PaperX. They haven't found a lot of success, but that little 3-round streak to close out the first half, Tom, it's given them a chance here. We want to see them take the pistol though.
Yeah, we want this to be a competitive
Texture ने
match.
जैसा ऑप किया ना,
has not been.
वैसा ऑप अभी अपने को चाहिए किसके पास से?
Looking like
Something
a
के पास.
competitor for the crown, and
समझ रहे हो?
thus far we haven't seen the PaperX that we know and love.
Absolutely right, my friend. Texture is
This
obviously
round
OP.
might just be a deciding factor, but a great
मोनियत
start
भाई
from
थोड़ा
Munya.
डेंजर हो गए.
Already pushing aggressively on the other side. Is something waiting for someone to try and make their move, and he's going to go back for a little bit more. Has to use the dash to get out of there, and is now waiting for the cavalry to arrive as the rest of the team somewhat far away. An opportunity, but Forsaken with a good trade.
Keeping the numbers in their favor. Something needs to do a little bit more. He's done some damage, and there's the follow-up.
Sort it.
Shot right to Texture's temple. That's going to put us in a 4v2 with PaperX. Definitely favored to take this pistol now. Forsaken fallen. A little bit more of a chance. Something, though, delivers. Okay, he's up top and not spotted.
Let's go.
Easy. That's a 3K for Something. Looks like even he's starting to heat up.
That's exactly what they need. Just him having confidence. Because you look at some of the fights he's taken, and there's definitely risks about it, but that's always been his play style. Even on a Gecko, he's basically an op main, so then get the finances built up early, get the orbs rolling on the duelist, which is exactly what's happened thus far. Get that sniper.
Yeah, Alex, देख रहे हो?
This game can definitely slip back. As said though, for the majority of the matches we've seen, be it
nice nice
Pacific, Genji have been much more consistent on their attack.
Pistol win then was essential for PaperX. Now the follow-up looks easy. Very little to play with for Genji, and even if they drop something, he's the player that's rocking with the pistol. So the margin for error's already been reached here. Any further kills will be costly, will force some level of reinvestment from the side of PaperX. But on the defense, they can keep distance, and with the buy that Genji have, they're definitely not favored on ranged fights.
Defiant will be solo, but you can see the rotation already coming out from Munya. Jump peak will give him the info to go back in with that Marshall. This is a round that they shouldn't really have any opportunity to win. The weaponry not falling into their hands off the kills they've garnered, and players they're pushing into are actually just going to start pushing into them. A good round from
nice
round. Managed to bring things again back within
first
2.
round is good, guys.
But the fact is, it has been the buy rounds where Genji truly have been a level above.
Well, just look at your screen. Besides, but 3 orbs away from a Blade Storm means he can force up here and potentially have a Blade Storm, even if they lose the round. With how and him finding at least the 2 orbs. 1 kill and a death. We'll see what he can get up to.
It also means they can gamble the control. They've got him holding onto the A site, an aggressive position from Munya. This is not really the gun you want to have here. Somehow he gets out of there unscathed. They also had an initial setup for players outside C, but after that spot comes through,
ये टेक्सचर को ही शोभा देगा.
Now the cross has already happened, so something now in a pretty deadly position. And honestly, I think Meteor's a little bit lucky there to even get 1.
Well, here's the chance for that operator to finally show its ugly face.
अरे सही था. Nice. Texture उठाया, nice. Texture उठाया ठीक है.
Texture, the man with the responsibility to take the space to close the distance. Now they'll be a little bit slower on the way around these corners, which is just perfect for something. He had to be watching the right way though, and Munchkin caught him unaware. The same happens with Divai though, leaving it to a 3v2 defensive advantage, and Divai walkabouts. He's been so good. 19 kills, looking for his 20th and his 3rd of the round, and it looks like he might. Oh, he will get the opportunity, but he's being dropped. Doesn't matter because Munyet's there to catch him when he falls. 8-7, and now this gets me excited for PaperX. That round puts them way back in contention because Gen G got an eco.
Yeah, I like the way they play it as well. After the initial spot, that there was at least one player lurking. They know that there's an opportunity to potentially steal a gun away. So they 3-man push. Even a trade there's not too bad, knowing there's some things on the other side. And even though he only gets 1 kill, he does enough to delay and allow for those rotations. Divai as well, though, as you said, he's been fantastic. 19 and 10, topping the entire scoreboard right now. Something once more. They know he's going to be here. They know there's a high chance he'll be here, and they're actually going to really put the pressure on early.
I don't mind this from Gen G. They have players lurking elsewhere. Trap just got broken on B. So now for PaperX, they have to be worried about the flank. It means you're not going to have Forsaken there to help with this fight. Instead, something has to do it on his own. And again, he finds texture. That's a big part of this game. They try to seize the space with him blast packing in, but instead, they've been left to try and trade it out. 2 versus 3. Meteor's good position has been noted. As we said earlier, they know that trap was broken. They know there could be someone around here. It's why you see Divai wait for Mindfreak, wait even for the plant to come through, while Munyet finishes this flank. Looks like they're aware. Well, they're very much aware that something is going on. I mean, PaperX haven't made a move. Why are they not trying to fight for any bit of control? And that's not something they'll find an answer to until they plant the spike.
It looks like because they've spotted players near B, and they're worried about their spawn, they're actually going to go fighting aggressively. This could be a big win if it comes through. Nice work from Meteor. 1 bullet left. And nothing being spotted towards the spawn. This means they know where they are. The peek out is perfect, and he goes back with the pistol. He does it alone. Meteor's going to confirm the MasterCard Thrifty. And what was looking like a round firmly in the hands of PaperX falls to 1 man.
1 man with 1 big gun and 1 medium gun also. Very ambitious to go for this. That could have put it to a 1v1 top, but he was having none of it.
That's what I said about this guy. He knows he'll hit the shot. For some reason,
when
it's him, and he goes, okay, I've got the first one. He always peeks for the second, and weirdly, he always gets it. That's the thing. Every time I'm sat there going, I'm ready to critique, and then he gets the kill, and I'm like, well, fine then. I guess that was the right play.
Well, uncouth, but it works this time. Certainly caught his opponents off guard with Gen G 9-7 and claiming that round. PaperX have weaknesses. An operator in the hand of something.
Look at where he is.
Popcorn
not really an opping angle normally, is it? Oh, nice flash. That's good. But he hasn't got the dash anymore. It's faded out. But Munchkin, oh, the shot's missed. And Munchkin's been given a second chance at life while the showstopper is again just, oh, I thought just used for space, but if he fires it out close, no, he doesn't pull the trigger. And now he realizes his mistake as the dive comes in from
mistake hai bhai uska.
A lot to work with.
The old Stoke should be, well, in theory, forcing them back, but it hasn't happened at all. They went aggressive, made this one problematic. Spike already planted at least, so they're going to have to respect it and just fall back. Munchkin still holding, and they have a pretty nasty potential crossfire just with the amount of time that can be born. Munchkin is just looking at that clock. That's all he really aiming for, sitting back, waiting for the push. He manages to land the first, almost onto the second. The PaperX respond in turn, a back and forth so far in this second half, and they close the gap once again to just 1 round.
Well, that's the response and resurgence we wanted to see. This game, this map, and indeed this series.
ये गलत कर दिया, bit फोड़ देता ना, तो something फुट जाता.
That's got to be so infuriating.
Yeah, I can understand.
प्रेक्षक को लगा कि मैं ऐसे ही पेल दूंगा भाई.
You make a decision there. Do you gamble it? Do you not? And well, he chose wrong. Chips on the wrong color. Well, 9-8. And for PaperX, it looks like they've really got their hands dug into those reins. The economy is low.
अभी
We've
outlaw आ
seen
चुकी
Gen G
है।
win low by rounds. There's a Viper's Pit online with 1 kill from
ऐसी गन जो कि 5 साल लगाती है रीलोड में।
The main thing is something has got basically an all.
अरे ब्रदर।
Yassine dash.
फेक
It
डेस हो
works
गया।
out for him. No punish. And the reposition.
Oh, by
gets him another
two
kill.
है, two है।
Swing out. Coming in to the side of PaperX and closing the round in
Nice.
a second. Blink and you miss it as we're 9-9.
Yeah, they have
डेस थोड़ा वो हो गया।
made this comeback
कैजुअल
happen.
डेस। But happened.
5-1
मेरे
in
साथ
the
तो रोज
second
होता है।
half after what
मजाक।
was basically, we were at a scoreline where this looked over. What was it, 8-1? And then they went 3 rounds in a row. And that's the thing. You don't really think it at the time because an 8-4 half is still great, but it seemed like Gen G just let the foot off the gas. A few big plays coming out.
But उसने
Now we're
गेम को
starting to
कैसे
see
संभाला
players
वो
rise
देखना
up.
बनता है।
You were mentioning it, the distance between Devi and everybody else was a lot. Well, something has been closing the gap. I'm also just looking at Mind Freak.
Yeah, it looks like they're
still
looking at
Delete
him
करो
too.
ले इसको।
Karen was trained in on that with Texture finding a field day. 2 HP left on Devi. He'll find it hard to get any impact from this point. A stray bullet enough to take him down.
Wow.
But he's caught Karen off guard. The flash covers his retreat. No more flashes and they don't reach it
2 HP पे मार रहा है वो।
An opportunity still. No, shut down. 2 versus
100
3
HP पे नहीं मार
Viper's
पाता।
pick could change the game.
They're trying to get in as quickly as humanly possible, but Meteor's
ये
there
राउंड गया।
to defend. Leaves it onto something. As said, he's had a real
ये
resurgence.
समथिंग है कुछ हो सकता है।
They just fall back
But
to
आउट है ना यार।
enable the reload. Never mind, he's just looking to
बस
reposition
बेटा।
completely. I think they know exactly where he is. But
चलो
somehow he still
राउंड आ
wins the
सकता है
battle.
अपना है अपना
3
है।
bullets left in the clip. The pit's been dropped. He's already going to spot one, but he's now just down to the classic.
अरे
It's a
यार।
classic v classic.
एंटी कैपिटल
Black
एंटी
is the
कैपिटल
one to
एंटी।
take it home. These rounds are getting insanely close. And it's a back and forth once again.
Really is like a pendulum swinging. There's no
Mind Freak भाई दर्द मर रहे
stability
हैं।
to be found for either of these teams. 2 rounds for PaperX, an immediate answer back by
Screen
Gen G.
transfer कर
But
देता हूँ।
the fact that it comes down to this, that the Viper is dropped outside the pit, and then that's the result. Clean as can be with
अरे
a
हाँ।
final right click to close it. Gen G,
सबकी सांसें हाथ में
they've
है
got a
guys।
lot set up in front of them, Tom. There is a showstopper for Munyet. Other than that, everybody is just on the rifles. Credits are low. Gen G could be on the home stretch very, very soon, and Forsaken in that corner needs value. They've not seen him. He's good for 1 and damage on Texture. Those
Texture पूरा
could
damage है।
be very, very
हल्लू हल्लू गोली भी
difficult
निकली तो मर
facts
जाएगा
as
वो।
PaperX look to move back through. So many players are low. One extremely low in the corner. It's the Rocket to find him.
Yeah, that's the thing though, that trade's all right. That was the low HP player that goes down. I don't think they're going to mind that whatsoever to put it back into a 3 versus 3. Something about to try and go through this. His teammates a little bit further behind.
Something उड़ के मार दो।
No flash
उड़ के
available
मार,
for
उड़ के
Devi,
मार।
so it's just going to have to be the raw push. Already managing to retrieve a rifle, but every member falls. Gen G now get a double back of their own. And the major worry here for PaperX, they don't have backup credits. They don't have
delete कर
anything in
सकते
their
हैं।
pockets other than a Blade Storm. This could be the beginning of the end.
It feels that way, Tom. 2-round gap. Gen G in this series have just been
क्या मार रहा है
when
भाई?
it came to these rifle rounds. And again, it seems strange that 13-8.
दो लोग उसको
to
शूट
talk
कर रहे हैं,
about
ये
it as a
इसको मार रहा है,
dominant
फिर उसको
game.
मार
Yes,
रहा
it
है।
is a strong score line, but not damning for the other side. But when you look at both pistols, that's a 4-0 start based off of coin flips. And PaperX managed to just about come ahead. When it came to rifle rounds, they weren't able to succeed. Now, early push, it's not quite a rifle. Instead, it's a set of blades,
Wow.
and those don't even get fired off. They lay by his side as he falls to the floor. Something down, so too is Devi, and they're ready for another player close. There seems to be nothing that PaperX can do to surprise this Gen G roster in the last few rounds. And with 12
W versus W.
looking like it's on the board, Tom, these players, they have to be feeling the crushing weight of this series. The lower bracket is beckoning them, and there they'll face elimination against the Sentinels are allowed. There's no easier fight for them than a team that they know. The devil they don't is coming.
Seems like
यहाँ से टिचुक टिचुक करने से कुछ नहीं होगा।
this round at least was a weaker investment, but they had to use one of the ults and it got absolutely nothing. And the second we've got into these post plants, that's where Gen G have looked their most
मेरे को राउंड
fearsome.
पता था एंटी है।
A team from last year that started strong, had a massive fall from grace, made a huge overhaul of this roster with risks taken. Players brought back who had been at a Masters right at the beginning of Valorant, a player they got from Ranked, and players that have not found success elsewhere. Texture, one I think we can really highlight. Like in G, he was okay. But to go into a Gen G roster that's now playing for a minimum of top 3 if they win this match. Unheard of, surprising, and now looking like that pinnacle of Pacific. Looking to try and do what no Pacific team has ever done before. Take themselves to an international victory. The Paperex are not dead, not down, until you stamp them out.
Definitely looking injured. The path to recovery, 3 straight rounds in OT in the third map. A lot of win conditions. For Gen G, 3 ultimates to fight their way through. Paperex don't have reactive ones, not impactful ones. Whereas the lockdown, the showstopper, and of course the nightfall. Any one of those can open sights, pull you out of sticky situations. Door open.
Intense
the defenders, but it's covering Munyet's push forward. Problem is, okay, good nade up close. That's going to force that player out in the open. Problem is, Texture was covering it. And now the pushing mid is spotted as well. 3 players left for Paperex. And it looks like they've still got a fight in them. Nightfall won't evade it. He's being caught. But, oh, it's fake information. The Shrouded Step has bought a little bit of an advantage for Mindfreak because he's still alive, his HP recovering, but with something down. And Divide, very much known towards that spawn. Mindfreak's on the wraparound. Wants to move towards that singular door. For this, Divide needs to buy some time. He still has a flash to play with. There it goes. It's popped and it's cleared out this corridor. Divide's even won the fight. The smoke is down. A chance if Mindfreak can make it to Divide. If they can take this fight together, but they don't know where the last players are. And the nade has even forced them back for a second. The time now very low. And with 2 players still to root out, it might be too low. Divide just dodges that seize, but Mindfreak down. The time now. Okay, no, Texture went out swinging. There's no chance. There's no chance whatsoever. He had to stick it underneath his nose. And short of a big misplay, it was never swinging the other way. 13-9. 13-8. A consistent showing from the side of Gen G as they take victory over their Pacific comrades. It's on to the upper final.
Yeah, it is another huge statement play for Gen G. No doubt at this stage that they wear the crown when it comes to Pacific.
Nice match.
That's not the crown they're gunning for anymore. They said it at the time. Their goal was to make it to the playoffs. Well, they've made it there, and they've continued to push forward in that upper bracket. A team has said that last year didn't really do too much, didn't really give us much to be excited about, and then bringing together a mix of players that maybe many didn't expect to do well, definitely didn't expect to get this far. They continue in that upper bracket to be the representative
Gen G is best.
And they send the previous Pacific champion, a previous finalist of one of these events.
ने जो मारा था एक को ओप से मारा पहले उधर मोनेट को मारा मेन फिर मिड पे इसको मारा and बीडीम स्टेरी
to a close score line in the
कॉपी मेरा जैसा गेम
end,
प्ले है
streak of rounds.
कॉपी ऐसा हल्का सा भी ऊपर नीचे नहीं बट मेरे से कम आता है उसको
Paperex's pick where they just didn't get started. And that's a big concern for them. Moving on to an elimination series next, they won't get a chance to have a slow start. They've got to come out swinging off the bat. For Gen G, they get to watch their opponents play, figure out who it is, take some notes. This is a very nice position to be in, and a chance to make a historical run here in Madrid for their region.
अभी इंटरव्यू आएगा अभी मैं समझाता हूँ आपको कैसे वो क्या बोलते हैं.
A flash in the pan a lot of the time. You look at the Zeta run. You could even throw
मेरे को सोचा वो अस्पर वाली लड़की आएगी रे.
Making a run, Paperex making a run. This Gen G squad though, it feels different. They have so much depth to them in terms of individual plays, but they have such a solid structure, great trading, and also it just looks like the individuals on that team have leveled up from last year. They look like different players, even if they're in different roles, some coming from the tier 2 as well. They are an absolute joy to watch.
कि मेरे लिए ये गेम नहीं है अनस्टॉल करके मैं कुछ और गेम खेलूं
जैसे कि
It definitely feels like they have a long road ahead of them. Hopefully no bumps in that road. And the reality reality is, you know, Texture for me, certainly someone to take notes on, because this guy, he was good before, but now on the international scene, up against some of the best in the world, and he's leaving his mark. He's already left his mark, and it could get so much more beneficial for this squad as they now get to watch their opponents play, take those notes. I really put so much stock in that.
Sentinel.
I love the fact that just even hearing them
Sentinel की बारी आ गई.
it's Munchkin elevating
Sentinel की बारी आ
his
चुकी है
teammates.
दोस्तों.
I think that's such a huge
भाई इसमें
compliment.
time
Like, you
लगेगा
can say
नहीं?
someone come in, oh, he's a great leader, he's playing great individually, like all of these compliments.
बात है, इसकी बात में बात है, नेस्टेड बात है. जिंग भी देख रहा है, सोम भी देख रहा है, ये भी देख रहा है. ये तो कौन है बे? और क्या कर सकते हैं हम? मेरे को कोई बता सकता है क्या? ऐसा ऑनलाइन हो जाए, ऐसा क्या कर सकते हैं? मैं देखता हूँ ऑनलाइन गेम, ऑनलाइन FPS गेम क्या आता है? इसमें मिलेगा क्या मेरे को? लेट्स गो गाइस, गेम प्ले दिखाता हूं मैं आपको. लड़की ओके गाइस, प्ले नाउ. गेम प्ले. आपको पता नहीं कितना खतरनाक प्लेयर हूं. वेटिंग फॉर सर, क्या बात कर रहे हो? ये मत. मैं आ चुका हूं. लेट्स गो गाइस. अब मैं दिखाता हूं. सिर्फ से इसमें वो होता है. अरे डेंजर गेम है रे. और भाई 3 ऑप डेंजर गेम पर थोड़ा सेंसिज आई है. 400 पे जा. हाँ नहीं लग रहा क्या? अरे उड़ भी सकते हैं. ओ चिंगूस, पेला मैंने पेला. गाइस आपका भाई डेंजर प्लेयर है. थोड़ा सेंसी का इधर उधर है. समझ लेना. चल बे चिंगूस. भाई ये नहीं खेला मैं. मारा नो स्कोप मारा. आई एम बेटर गया. अभी मैं इसके बाद शॉटगन लूंगा. ओके. मेरे को कौन मार रहा है? नो स्कोप. अरे टाइम तो दो मेरे को. टाइम तो दो भाई. हेलो. जस्ट गो मारूंगा मैं. आपको पता नहीं है मैं डेंजर हूँ. भाई ये तो डेंजर प्लेयर है कोई. 10 का भाई. एक सेकंड. 2 अभी दिखाता हूँ मैं कितना खतरनाक फोर्टनाइट प्लेयर हूँ मैं. इसको डिफीट. ओके ये खेलते हैं. चल बे चिंगूस. 10 सेकंड में आ रहा है गेम. मेरे को सेंसी किधर से होता है रे इसका ऑनलाइन? भाई मैं गेम प्लेयर हूं भाई, टीम प्लेयर. वो बोले कि क्या कर रहा है ये इतना खतर. उजी अभी मार रहा हूं मैं. अच्छा ये वो वाला मैप है मतलब. इधर वे चिंगूस देख रहा आपका भाई डेंजर. भाई मेरे को हील कहां से मिलेगा? एफ से नेड करता है. समझ गया मैं. अब देखो गेम प्ले देखो सिर्फ. कौन है बे? देख रहा हूँ मैं हूँ डेंजर यार, समझ लो तुम। चिंगूस होल्ड पे है। ओ रुक जा रुक जा रुक जा। मेरे को इससे मारना है। लेट्स गो। देख रहा तेरा भाई स्नाइपर को भाई डेन शॉटगन पे था वो। भाई मस्त गेम है ये यार, ये तो भाई ये थोड़ा इजी है। स्लाइड नहीं है बस इसमें। अरे मैं थोड़े से मार रहा था बे। ऑनलाइन FPS गेम का देख रहा हूँ आपका भाई डेंजर। भाई इसमें तो एम की भी जरूरत नहीं है रे, कोई भी मार देगा। कोई आ भी नहीं रहा। ये कौन सा स्नाइपर है बे? ये तो प्लेयर है बे। तेरा भाई डेंजर। ये क्या हुआ मैं नहीं समझा। समझा नहीं मैं क्या हुआ हो। भाई जल्दी सेंटिनल को बुलाओ, मैं वरना प्रो बन जाऊंगा इस गेम में। अरे किधर? भाई शॉटगन प्लेयर शॉटगन। अभी मार रहा हूँ, अभी मार। अरे खिलाड़ी से मार दूंगा इसको। लेट्स गो। ये क्या हो गया? ओके ग्लिच है हल्का ग्लिच ये क्या हो गया? गलत कंटिन्यू। मैं इसमें खतरनाक हो रहा हूँ प्रो। शॉटगन भाई शॉटगन। ये मत कर। रिकॉल जैसा कुछ है क्या? बुलेट ड्रॉप है, समझा नहीं। जीत गए। चलो ये गेम बेस्ट है। ये है क्या? लेट्स गो। इसमें से कौन सा खेले? ये खेल सकते क्या रियली में? ये मस्त लग रहा है कुछ। ये कहाँ पहुंचा भाई? स्टार्ट हो रहा है 2 मिनट में। दो मिनट में स्टार्ट हो रहा है। अरे तब तक मैं वो भी चेंज कर लूँ। ये क्या होगा? ठीक है चलो, तो ये भी चेंज करना पड़ेगा। वो एनालिटिक्स में आ जा और यहाँ से मैं कॉपी करूँगा सेन वर्सेस लाउड। इसको यहाँ से कॉपी करो, यहाँ पे आ जाओ, एडिट पे क्लिक कर दो और यहाँ पे कर दो बूम। ओके, सेव कर दो। बस तब तक हम गेम में आ जाते हैं। बूम। फुल स्क्रीन कर दो। हम खेल रहे हैं हेलो। स्किप कर रहे हैं हम। WSD जंप। ओके, समझा मैं समझा। अच्छा, सी से डैश होता है। थ्रो कर सकते बे। नाइस, चलो लेट्स गो। F ability। Impressive game। लेट्स गो। प्रो तो हूं मैं। इधर है चिंकू लोग। ये वो रे। लेट्स गो। अरे 2 मिनट गैस, 2 मिनट। सैंड वर्सेस लाउड आन दो तब तक। चल चिंगूस निकल ले। आपका भाई प्रो तो 10 मारने 3 मरे, बाकी के किधर है? देख रहा, जेट मैन हो गाइस, डैश तो मारूंगा ना। बाकी के चिंगूस लोग किधर? ये चिंगूस डिस्को। लेट्स गो। भाई मैं लकड़ी काट सकती है? नहीं रे। ये रहा चिंगूस, इसको पेलता हूँ। अच्छा मैंने पेला हुआ है। 5 मार दिया आपके भाई ने। बाकी के पकड़ू लोग मेरे को दिखाओ, मार दूंगा मैं। ये रहा। अरे इसको इसमें मारेंगे। आगे सबके सब आगे, साथ आओ। एक एक करके मत आना, आपको पता है मैं डेंजर हूँ। एक एक करके मत आना। अरे लेट्स गो। हाँ किड्स गाइस, आजकल के किड्स। 1 सेकंड। हाँ, एक बंदे, एक पपलू को मार लूं। इसको पेलेंगे ऐसे इसमें। अरे मेरे एबिलिटी। 360 मारना इसको। किधर गया? Let's go. पैसे लाउड, ये कौन सा गेम है? ये कौन सा गेम है जो रहा है? हाँ हाँ हाँ, समझा नहीं यार मैं। भाई सैन वर्सेस लाउड, ये कौन से गेम में हो रहा है? हाँ हाँ हाँ, मेरे को इसको समझने के लिए मेरे को डाउनलोड करना पड़ेगा नेट से दिमाग। ब्रो एक सेकंड। VCT इज इम्पोर्टेंट। किंग लोग कल आना। अभी तो ये लोग बातें करेंगे कि भाई डेंजर प्लेयर
and they're on the same team. And the thing is, they're always playing together. These guys out of the server, they're good friends. Their teammates call them the
चलो चिंगूस लोग मिलते हैं कल।
And they're setting each other
Nice
up
to meet you,
together
चिंगूस।
in the server as well. They're a very aggressive duo. You'll see them take risks, but the difference between them and maybe a team like PaperX as a player like Forsaken per se is it's always together and it's always being really well integrated into John QT's system. When they go for these risks, when they go for these early fights, the rest of the team is calling around that. They hear Zek and say, hey, I want to make this play. Tens knows how to set him up, and the rest of the team adapts around that really, really well.
Yeah, and I think as well, just to double down on that, the support system here is really the difference. To have everybody here delivering individually, Zek and Tens being the ones to lead the charge, it's terrifying to have to go up against them in this sort of form.
I'm going to make Tekken a thing. But let's move on to the other side for Loud, because they had a slow start. But Hybuck, as you know, even when they've had a slow start in the past, they always go really, really deep, and they manage to take it all the way sometimes.
Yeah, Loud have always just got this playoffs form that they seem to, it's almost like the trump card, the Uno reverse that comes out in the series that they need to deliver it. And I don't necessarily think they've shown that so far, but coming out and bouncing back the way they did with the follow-up series, we talked about obviously it being a bit of a concern, the loss to Gen G, but outside that, you still look back and you think, well, what series has Les been playing in particular, Les, having another MVP-worthy performance, you look back at the series, you think, how's he doing that?
Yeah, and I honestly think that this team has leveled up yet again to a form where they can be a contender for a title. I think they worked out some of the issues they showed in the kickoff event, where they're playing these like Phoenix comps, it's not really working out. Here, I think they really narrowed down their map. Well, they showed maybe some weaknesses on Breeze, but on the maps that they're committed to, their Sunset, for example, they've looked excellent. The strategy is really coordinated. Players have also leveled up. Quick in their last game looked so much better than the rest of the season thus far. This is a Loud that always wakes up the deeper they get into tournaments. It seems like they find the ability to hit the peak at just the right time in like every event.
Yeah, and I think as well that they've already shown here that they are willing to kind of detract away from the commitment to the Phoenix and Breach. They're obviously busting out the Euro in particular, but QCK's individual performance across all the duelists has been pretty incredible. I keep saying that nobody plays this much Phoenix and comes out looking like, you know, a great duelist or a great individual player, but somehow he's doing it.
Yeah, you guys mentioned Les already, who's also having a great tournament. I believe he is standing by with Mika Fabs. Take a look at this. Not just quite yet.
What about this?
What about this?
I want to look at this, because this guy's stats have been ridiculous this tournament, but they are every time. Les is the consistent member of this squad. With Osmus out of the team, he's the #1 guy you have to look towards. He's always playing Viper, but he's competing with the star duelist in every role. The guy's ridiculous, and if Loud is going to win a trophy here in Madrid, it'll be because he's keeping that up.
Yeah, that was Les. We got Les as well, because Les is more. So let's send it down to Mika Fabs.
Hey Les, I like that little groove you had going on a little bit back there. So you've been on the team for forever. You know how it's like when the team gets that synergy in order to win championships. I'm curious how this level of synergy has been from like the beginnings of this roster all the way up here to Masters Madrid. What's that journey felt like? We have Arthur here to help with some translation.
Oi Les, então, primeiramente eu gostei que você estava ali mandando uma vibe bem legal. A gente quer saber
भाई इनको तो ट्रांसलेट करके समझाना पड़ता
com a
है
galera, com o time, e agora com esse novo roster, vocês estão com a sinergia. A sinergia tá boa? Como é que tá a sinergia de vocês até o campeonato?
A gente está começando a evoluir, né? Querendo ou não, tô no início do ano. A gente está com um jogador novo, staff nova, então a gente está planejando a longo prazo, mas estamos
Overall, step by step, we're evolving.
ये लोग कैसे कर दो की जो लैंग्वेज में बोलते हैं मैं भी गुजराती में बोलूंगा
We're working on with like new stuff as well, so I would say we're just on the way evolving, because overall it's the beginning of the year as well.
Well, eager to see the next step. Keep that vibe going and best of luck.
अभी गाना आएगा? Yes. Technical 10 second. Steffi, John Cutie, and then Ulysses.
These are two of the best teams Americas have to offer, but being here is about being the best in the world. And as it stands at this stage, it does feel like both of them have a great chance.
It's the new versus the old guard for Americas in this match. It's the third time they've played this year, and we're already into the veto match.
Split, guys,
in their strengths, and I think we're going to expect to see maps like Sunset, maps like Icebox that was just picked, that both these teams love to play. This honestly what we're getting already
second map
is a bit of a
first
rematch of that finals.
Yeah, definitely. Well, actually, yeah, with Sunset to round things out. Concern, massive concern to kick things off on Split. Obviously, two very polarizing results. Obviously, regionally looking back at this, but last will be the 13-3 Sentinels. Absolutely slap loud about.
Yeah, Split is far and away the best map
Single,
for Sentinels that we've seen
single,
thus far. They look lights out on that. In particular, their defense, their protocols, the way they set up for the retake, everything has been on point. And yes, so much of it is in Zekin, and so much of it is also John QT. It feels like his call is perfect on the defensive side of that map, on how this team sets up. This first map's going to be a challenge for Loud.
Yeah, just how close do you think this will be though? Because the first match we saw today, very one-sided, also what we expected. But Hypok, do you feel like it favors one team or another coming into this?
I'll be honest, I do give the edge to Sentinels here. I don't think we're going to have a very clear-cut series. I think Loud may be looking to reinvent themselves once again. I don't think this is going to be an easy run.
Yeah, the question for me is what has Loud changed? Because they haven't had to really show their split since that grand final. So there has been a bit of time to kind of look back, see what went wrong there. But even the best teams haven't been able to beat SEN there. I look more towards the rest of this pool. I think Icebox and Sunset, both teams are incredibly close on how they play. In particular, Icebox leads towards Louds. I really expect us to get a third map, to get Sunset, and that's so exciting because these teams are both excellent at the map, but with very different reads. One playing the Breach and the Phoenix, the other playing the Gecko composition. Both have these great retakes. Both have really cool ideas for how they take space on the map. Really hoping we get there.
Yeah, and I also, you mentioned a little bit of doubt perhaps in Sassy here, but Hypok, he's going up against Sadag. You know, they've been looking forward to this matchup for a long time. As we take a look at the Agent Select, how much pressure do you think is going to be on his shoulders?
Well, no surprise to see the compositions come out, but I do think it is a little bit concerning.
Technical turn is on
areas, but you could argue again, it's another one of those familiar opponents that are very comfortable ground, obviously regionally. Sassy performances were above what we've seen so far.
The Sentinels are starting on the attack. A lot of this comp is built around how in the mid-round they take space for Zekin. I think shutting down Zekin has to be a priority for Loud. He is looking like the best player in the event right now, and if he can keep that up in this one, if he can get the openers for Sentinels, give John QT those options in the mid-round, the way they've been able to for most of this tournament, it's going to be really tough for Loud to recover.
Yeah, well, I've just been told that Brand and Sideshow are in fact contractually obligated to cast every single Sentinels game. So here they are, over to you guys.
That's extremely true. We have so much influence and power, actually.
चालू करो ना bro, चालू करो ना ये इधर उधर की बातें की चल आउट के टीम को तरफ से bro मेरे को न्यूट्रल लेना पड़ता है जो जीत रहा है उसके साथ ही होगा ना मैं क्या बात कर रहे हो यार वो पहले से डिफरेंट होता है
You know, me and you, Josh, we were talking about it just before we got into the game, but you know, you think of that Optic Core versus Loud
personally
matchup,
I want to see
El Clasico, and now maybe the passing of the torch over to this one. We've seen Sentinels versus Loud now many times so far in 2024, and it's always pushed both of these teams to great heights.
It's possible that we'll see it even later on in the playoffs too. We've yet to really discover which of these teams are going to be able to battle it out against each other and make it deep in a playoff kind of situation. Gen.G looks scary. You do not want to be in the lower bracket if they end up down there at some point.
Obviously, player के नाम भूल गया समझ रहे हो? Loading आ गया पूरा.
A really cool regional matchup that you have between these two teams. You know, last year we only had one regional title in Americas to fight over. That was Loud that ended up taking it away. This year with Kickoff, Stage 1, Stage 2, we're going to have 3 potential opportunities for regional fights like this, and then also all of the opportunities at Masters events or at Champions, where Loud and SEN, they're not just fighting here for the rivalry, but they both believe, and I think a lot of the fans do too, that they've got a serious chance of being able to win.
I think every team does.
Jaldi se game chalu karo.
Well. I mean, winning here in the playoffs, of course, you know, not in a danger zone just yet. There's not elimination on the line per se, but it does just, you know, stretch you ever so deeper into that tournament,
Loud ka to maza aata.
Really decent chance as well of lifting that trophy, lifting that title,
which
every team here is looking to do.
Now that we've got a little bit of time
Sentinel ka bhi chalega,
dig
किसी का भी
into the
चलेगा,
map, Vito, it's
G का
going to be
तो
electric.
obviously चलेगा.
You look at the opening map that Analyst Desk has talked about.
But I am
and then
more into
Icebox,
the competitive
yeah,
stuff.
Loud won that in the 3-2
I am
victory
into content
that
creation
Sentinels ended up putting up. But Icebox was
Content
close,
creation से
man.
याद आया 3 दिन की छुट्टी है guys,
Sunset too.
Saturday,
There's
Sunday
no guarantees
and
that
Monday.
that goes the way of SEN again if we do end up going to 3.
So I am planning to do something good,
But I
guys.
think for Loud too, they cannot afford to just get
Let's
battered
go.
as they did previously.
देखो hype होनी चाहिए, hype
was
होनी
talking
चाहिए, hype
about
होनी
that
चाहिए.
scoreline. It was devastating for SEN.
DK वाली ghost, DK पे भी ये ghost है.
With the boom bot, walking up behind
उसको
the
मैं
smoke.
बोलूँगा ये variant रख.
Looking like they want to fight through it. They've got a flash ready and waiting. Potentially, no, just literally egoing the smoke. But Zelsis is going to be holding for this one.
QC के,
Jiggles
sorry.
it.
QC के
Stray
को
shots
देखना
going
था
wide here.
मेरे
Might
को
be
याद आ
calling
गया.
reinforcements.
याद
So
है
far, a
ना.
little bit of damage done. It looks like just a 10. It's not a re-clear. Going to be called for B main.
And 10's prepping the paranoia in case this Trailblazer caught contact. It didn't. They've re-cleared B main, but not necessarily going to start taking that territory with bodies. Instead, looking forwards to the fight in mid. Kawanzine did not use a fault line at the start of the round, so he's still got that, but it's going to be a gunfight instead.
Yeah, just straight up. I mean, just dry into it. No kit being utilized. Again, want to face with the
एक
bodies.
team का एक kill
And
चुका
to
है.
be honest, I think that favors Loud. Yeah, they've lost the breach, but no smokes if they decide to go over and commit to B. And Loud are re-exploring down mid as well. John Cutie and Sewers.
Massive proactivity being caught here by Sadag, but, well, John QT left to do so much more there. Just the one before the trade comes through, but the B site now opened up.
Trade तो फटाफट हो जाते हैं यार.
Sassy's out wide into
हमारे यहाँ तो एक मर जाता है और फिर 5 साल बाद सबको पेल देगा.
A call is made to try and fight into the spawn. Zelsis. Snakebite now being held, but he's got 3 targets to deal with. Luckily, Zella. Okay, Zekin right there. Vulnerable. Will he be able to get the damage? Of course he will. Followed up in the end with the snakebite post-mortem.
देख रहे हो?
I love watching SEN set up these kind of little plays. You could see it constantly when they were playing against the European teams in the Swiss stage, and they didn't want to offer them opportunities to go for retakes, where they would cook up some kind of post-plant aggression, and they've always got a different idea. That's the great part about this SEN team that took the offseason so seriously. These players now have just a depth of micro plays that they can add in. This one, a snakebite off contact.
Already seeing examples of both of these teams just trying to be proactive.
Yeah.
Like calling that mid-push earlier, fighting through to spawn. So I think
Stringer,
what I said earlier, both of these teams are going to be pushing themselves to brilliance. I think you might be seeing it. At least certainly hope so. Korani opened no man's land, so he will fall.
And I think what you're seeing, at least at the beginning of this game, is SEN taking a very slow approach. That's a big kill. John Cutie going down on A means that this side of the map no longer has any offensive threat.
Ooh, second reactions there. Fault line stunned up. Well, there it is. The classic damage coming through. Flash in the end as well, so Tens is shortly behind him with a flash repeat. Kawazine can't get too much more done. 1 player left.
Technical tonnage.
Can't see too much danger in the round.
No. And Sentinels were forced to accelerate there once John ended up dying because they don't have information about what's happening on the other side of the map. But if you want to talk about info, as it relates to these compositions, Loud constantly need to be jiggle peeking corners, need to be going for those proactive explorations. And that's going to incentivize SEN to play a little slower, to try to punish the jump peaks and see if they can get damage or kills that way, to try to punish the info pushes into mid, that kind of thing. And Loud can't always run around the map pushing on defense with utility because it just makes it so obvious where they're playing. It's a difficult comp to play on defense.
Just get
Super setup हो चुका है guys.
End up swapping sides. They look like one of the
Cypher.
better teams here at this event when it comes to their split.
Cameraman Cypher के साथ.
Largely due to their retakes.
ये होती है
for Sentinels though.
मतलब एंट्री इज इक्वल टू ये प्लेस हुआ वो उधर गया ऐसा हुआ कभी मेरे साथ
Control early, now setting their sights out into the A. Sadak!
पर ये कुछ ज्यादा ही मार दिया सादक ने
Tucked nice and tight and safe and really just buying time for the rest of his team. Where are the reinforcements? It was a molly into the smoke and well, damage has been done. Vulnerable up. Sets it up for an easy one for
Celsius. Ho gaya 2-2.
3 versus 3.
Bit of a blunder there for Loud, offering Sen another opportunity to get back into it. Not planted for Evan.
हल्का सा इधर-उधर हो गया.
It goes down to now. Sassy is pretty far
Third
away.
round and ult guys. देख रहे हो?
I mean, look at the way that Loud are clearing this. They're expecting a reflank back up.
Usually going to be the bread and butter of a team like Sentinels.
बहुत बेहतरीन तरीके से खेलते हुए यहाँ पे नेट की कोशिश कर रही है ये.
Timing on it. It's immaculate as soon as the nade comes through. Yep, just hearing it and tucked to the corner. Sassy removed. Taken out now, just 2 will stand, and it could be just a bit of random spray, a bit of random spam that saves the day for them. Celsius traded, Pip going down. Tens 1v1. Doesn't really have to gun for it as a bulldog, but will it be all bark or all bite? Tends to be the latter, but Tens is wielding it.
Tens beta.
Great clutch there. Enormous round for Sen to be able to pick up. The momentum piling forwards for Sentinels as they win the bonus and knock Loud's economy down.
मेरे को लगा कि वो फिर उठ जाएगा.
लेकिन
उनका वाइप पर भाई.
5v3. The stun just comes through a little too late for Sadak to be able to follow up on, and then the flood that comes out is late too.
या फिर उसको गलत कॉल मिला होगा.
They've taken a huge player advantage situation.
ये तो बहुत ऊपर है. कर दे हो जाएगा आप. तब तक तो पी लिया.
Tossed it away.
Glimpses of the comms there as well. Keep playing together. Fundy's on show for Sen. Winning that bonus round is amazing.
And I do think that that's such a key. You know, Loud thrive against teams that opt into the individualism. You saw what they did to EDG.
Oh yeah.
It was a massacre.
Loud की पूरी टीम लल्लू पल्लू गन पे.
I mean, you can argue as well.
But Serif है उससे डर लगता है मेरे को.
Relatively easy path into playoffs.
टिचुंग एक हेडशॉट काम
Chinese representatives at Madrid.
Neither of whom played that well in their games against Loud.
इसका ही मर रहा है.
But having said that, we know that Loud are an extremely good team.
पीछे आ, सेंसी पीछे आ. ठीक.
Sassy feeling the danger there. The dog spotting out too.
तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ वैसे खेल रहे हैं लोग. कि मिड पे बूम बूम करो और फिर बी चले जाओ.
There can't be anybody B because they're all looking at me.
बोल रहा हूँ bro.
Lucky to not pay with it with his life.
नेट कर, अभी कर. अबे नेट कर वे. नहीं मान रहे देख रहे हो. फिर कहते कि हार गए. इतना अच्छा मैं कोच कर रहा हूँ फिर भी. नेट कर दे. हाँ.
Follows through with a snake bite exchanging, the handshake dropping down. Sadak was alone there. There wasn't really much to do with in terms of the follow-up. They have to face it wide though, but the aftershock being played for. So much damage done to these Loud players. The positioning's known and noted, and so 3 survive into it with Zekken picking up 3s. 1 away now from the big critical ultimate on attack side. That showstopper is going to be putting in some work if he manages to earn it.
But still कुछ नहीं बोल सकते
brother.
brother.
Once you start snowballing forwards. Loud are going to be 1 away from having a broken economy again. And Sen are starting to get up to key ults. Look how nice as well the Sentinels utility usage is when they get
एक को मार के मारा है, समझ रहे हो?
Zekken's holding nade to try to deny someone who might try to stop the plant, but he's also ready to throw counter utility with that nade as soon as the retake starts happening. They know how Loud are going to play and they've already prepped the counter to stop them.
Sen versus Genji.
It's really one-sided affair. See some
Sen versus Genji हो जाए
back from Loud
तो
really.
bidding boom boom हो जाएगा ना
This is interesting. Celsius went for an orb lineup that's all the way into
होगा
mid
ना
there. You see how there's 2 Viper orbs
इसमें से
laid
ये
on top
जीते
of each
उसमें
other.
से वो जीते तो Sen versus Genji होगा ना
disincentivize what Loud have been going for.
या फिर Peperex का मौका है अभी पता नहीं मेरे को.
You're going to take a lot of damage if you want to try and fight mid. If you're Loud. And that's broadly speaking what Loud have been doing on this defense side so far. Only 4 rounds in though.
Dog right on cue there. At the minute mark. It's going to be broken for a bit of that mid-round information, but only shown by the 1 player, so Loud still left scratching their heads ever so slightly in terms of wondering where this might land, but they are starting to guess now correctly with the Seekers. This is pointing them directly into the right target.
Santilal
Sassy's going to pick up the ult orb and get Seekers himself.
30 seconds left. Which direction is this going to go into? They've still got 2 players planted into mid here for Sen, but the spike over towards A, they are struggling to get themselves in. Push and pull, ebb and flow of the map, not really working out in Sen's favour, and they need openings and they need options right now, maybe to be granted to them. A bit of spray with the damage, the bullets going wide, but this is such a difficult setup to break
20
into.
seconds left.
What are they even going for here?
20 सेकंड साइड में एंटर नहीं हो पा रहा अगर इसमें से जीतेगी तो हो जाएगा जेएनजी के 7
Plant हो गया planting the balls on the man to go for that one out wide for a heaven plant. The wraparound now Celsius becomes a key player in the game.
He's managed to pick up his orb and reposition it too, so he's got more control over towards heaven. So he's set to try to blind somebody playing elbow. Tenz's already repositioned up top.
There's no follow-up off of that flash.
और अगर इसमें लाउड हारे तो लाउड प्लेयर इसके साथ हो जाएगा लाउड वर्सेस मतलब देखो हाँ जो हारेगी वो पीआरएक्स के साथ जाएगी ना तो मस्त ही मैच होगा बे लाउड वर्सेस पीआरएक्स होगा या फिर सेंटिनल वर्सेस पीआरएक्स होगा मजा तो आएगा एक राउंड आ गया इनके खाते में
Coming back in, they had so many different things that they needed to navigate. You saw that there was no follow-up on the paranoia. That's because they're expecting some utility in response or aggression in response. Look how good Kawanzine is at being able to deal with
ऊपर से गिर रहा है उसको ट्रैक करते ट्रैश करते मार रहा है ट्रैश समझ लो
when it comes to fragging, winning duels against Tens and Celsius to shut the round down. That's where you see the slower pace of Sen get punished. If Loud are not going to give them things in the mid-round, give them openings to punish, you've still got to be able to make your own success with the executes at the end of the day.
लकी तूने वारज़ोन मोबाइल ट्राई किया क्या? बीटा से आज ओरिजिनली आया है ना आज कल में मेरे को आज सुबह नोटिफिकेशन आई मैंने डाउनलोड करा मेरे फ़ोन की औकात नहीं है फिर मैंने छोटू के फोन में डाला उसमें ठीक चल रहा है वैसे बट ग्राफिक इज स्टिल पपलू लग रहे बाकी गेम का साउंड बेस्ट है मैंने देखा साउंड भी मस्त है और वो भी मस्त है मेरे पोको F1 में लैग कर रहा है तो तेरे में तो करेगा नहीं तेरा नया है ना बट स्टिल फ्लेक्सिब है मेरे पास मतलब वो फ्लेक्सिब था उस जमाने में
shows it, body checks the dog, breaks it down. Now he's one away from a large hold of his own. Onto heaven control, but now here it is. Showstopper. Fault line to stop this one. Zekken was blind as anything. No way with the movement. Just evades capture.
With the movement.
Still low enough though. Tens now with a TP into the back of the side. That was not punished. And it is that full retake protocol. But already ram control game for Loud. Look at them clearing that so damn proactively.
Meanwhile, Celsius is so far away from the rest of the squad, just trying to find the timing for a late lurk. He might be too late.
There's a kill. Here's a showstopper. Finally on the ground. Towards the backside. Drop like a fly. Tens has to do the most now. He stands his ground and wins his one out. Kawazine falling out. Sadek though. To Molly to push him out of position. Second.
Celsius is here.
Finally. Arriving to the party though, Util in his hand, Sadek adjusts it and watching for it. Tens now 1v2. The double face is there.
Double peak था उनका भाई.
Together.
पर मोबाइल में क्यों खेलूं मैं जब मैं?
Partner in crime, Mr. Sadek himself. So with that defuse online, that's going to be that second round on the board.
Right,
starting to get a handle now in terms of how to tackle these A sites.
Yeah, finding
but still,
the timing there
mobile
to
games
push ramp
have
before
their own
Sentinel's
fun.
not anywhere near set up for it. Right? Sen's general game plan is we're going to get to site, we're going to have some kind of post-plan idea for aggression. Or a backup plan like Celsius going for that late lurk. But if you can find the timing between them going to site and setting up the next play, which Loud did, it can be very disruptive. And also, one of the big crucial factors in round 5 and 6 to Loud winning is that they just had players able to take ones and win duels. We saw Tens at the end there. We've seen him do magic in those positions sometimes before. But Loud is shooting back. Might sound reductive, but it's very important. It's that same orb lineup, but this time it's just going to go straight into a pit.
मेरे को वाइपर ही नहीं आता.
Don't think that's going to have the value
मेरे को और
that
कुछ आता ही
Celsius
नहीं
was
है.
hoping for.
मेरे को जेट भी नहीं आता.
Risky to go and retrieve it too.
Yeah. But it's lost, isn't it? Can't really be reclaiming it unless you have a plan to re-clear, which is stacking bodies, don't get me wrong. Just hoping that a few stray bullets might land into the cranium of less, but he's tucked to safety, making sure the pit will stay up.
If Sen get a read that Loud are playing heavy over mid at the start of these rounds, which
आज मैंने वैलेंट ओपन करके नहीं देखा मेरे स्टोर में क्या है.
sometimes 3 players there.
तारिक की टीम कौन सी है? Sen.
And go for more burst executes.
Sentinel. तनेज वाली.
But all of this
is
so based on having a read of what
but वो नहीं खेलता उसमें.
and they will be changing it up
content creator
last time they faced off.
Competitive player nahi hai.
Looks like it was the
Valorant
John QT. He's been pushed forwards now, tucked, and there it is.
Let's
Kill
go.
claimed. QCK fault line. Definitely
वो
there.
CS:GO में था
Actually,
पहले.
laboured enough, but still, the trade online. The call's being made to try and speed up the play now into B, but already that Yuta, look at it. I mean, the paranoia, the smoke drop down, cuts up the side, and with that lurk into mid, Sassy not rewarded for it. Tens has the spike here, looking eager potentially to take some fights here, but has to stick the plan now towards D4, but his team do have his back and more. Look at that! Coordination on display. Sadak creeping and crawling. He managed to weave his way into the site there while all that chaos was going on.
हाँ ये तो delete हो रहे हैं सब लोग.
And that was a tricky round for SEN to be able to convert. When John Cutie goes down over towards A, SEN are forced. Their hand has to go B. And Tui's knew it was happening. The loud players were there, and yet SEN come out on top anyway.
ऐसे खेलते हैं.
Destroys that attempt to flood retake. Dodge the flash and pick up both players.
On me, ऐसे कॉल देते हैं.
SEN, they are running away with
और
this
मेरे
now.
भाई मेरे ऊपर 5 बंदे घुस गए बे कैसे मार दूं यार तू ही बताओ भाई तू जा क्यों रहा है 5 बंदों के बीच में मीगो थोड़ी ना है तू
That ends up working out, but quite salvage. Will keep any of the money running. Keep smoke.
इतना खतरनाक स्मोक कर दिया.
At least with the flash, they know that nobody's close, tucked to the corner. A lot of players now looking for a punish on the John.
कुत्ता पहल प्रतियोगिता.
Noted that he plays here.
आयन सेरिफ तो है यार.
They're just going to posture and pick up the orb.
And if they can find a pick on John Cutie and push him away, it'll create timings where Loud can worry about the rest of the
map.
And I think they've got a very good read that John is playing solo A lot. That's an expectation that maybe Sentinels can mess with a little, but at the moment, Loud have found a decent timing here to
जिधर पिक मिलेगा उधर जाएंगे. समझ रहे हो? मिड से थोड़ा सा पिंच पुंच करते हैं.
The more you start to get worried in situations like this.
Absolutely.
Especially when we saw one of the rounds go down to only 15 seconds on the clock.
I think you can get really punished.
And Brent, the spike is going towards A.
Yeah.
Map देखना map
okay. Going for their gamble stack. There are only 30 seconds left on the clock.
अब ये होएगा इनका.
Quiet, but so far
पर ये लोग ये पे आ चुके हैं guys. 3 लोग already है. 4.
Blocking off Les's sight lines.
But भी जाओ.
Budging. Kawazine looks to be the contact.
Read है Loud का. Danger lead है.
Forwards, close quarters, still doesn't win it out with the stinger, and the backside players are brutalized, eviscerated. Sadak goes for the flash repeat. Safety in numbers.
What a swing and great dodging movement by John as
कल
well.
से वो चालू.
Can Les pick
कौन सी
this
गन
up?
है? तुझकी.
He's been a monster.
He's got the right.
हारने पे वो चालू.
Still, there's going to be no gaps there. Not with Sentinels. They know
भाई मस्त
who they're
मारा
up
रे.
against.
Another round.
वो तुझकी गन कौन सी है?
It looks
सेक्टर
dangerous.
के पहले आती जो छुट्टू सी है उसका नाम मैं बोल स्ट्रिंगर. Thank you.
But everyone on SEN is playing
ये करा
really
ये
tight together.
सैचले.
Making sure that they can trade, making sure the spacing's excellent.
फाइट हो गई क्लियर.
It is.
कल से स्ट्रिंगर चालू. स्ट्रिंगर गेम प्ले. डैश
And they're running away.
जेट डैश करूंगा स्मोक में उस स्मोक से निकल के स्ट्रिंगर समझ रहे हो सामने वाला खत्म डिलीट कर देगा वो Valorant.
One was an extremely close split. The Loud ended up winning with Sadak just popping off at the end of the game to drag him over the line, and the other was a flattening. It was Sentinels just utterly tactically dominating.
मेरे को नहीं लगता कि इतना टाइम लगेगा Sentinel को हराने में.
To me to be more like the latter.
वो हरा देंगे ऐसे ही Loud को. ऐसा फील हो रहा है.
The way that SEN is so patient around the map.
Change my god. Bakra gamer. Change Gapra. Gapra nahi Bakra, sorry.
I think that time, having been the first team to qualify for playoffs, has been used very wisely.
Oh yeah. Rest and rejuvenation.
Respect,
I mean, listen,
respect,
I've seen these players wandering around the hotel and the coaches, Kaplan and Drew. They had very dark bags under their eyes, but now they've finally been able to get some sleep.
And you saw there in
side entry in Valorant.
Shot of the stage actually. Sadak
100% working in Hindi.
Making sure he's communicating what he wants.
वो ये लोग ही करते हैं आपने भाई मैं मेड से पीक लेता हूँ आप लोग बी जाओ हमारे यहाँ ऐसा होता है समझ रहे हो और इनमें ऐसा नहीं होता सैचले स्मोक आ गया 2-3 प्लेस आ गए सब कुछ हो गए और बूम वो लोग साइड के अंदर 3 मर चुके 2 जिंदा ऐसा हो गया हमारे यहाँ साइड पे एंट्री नहीं होती सब मर जाते
to market, but there wasn't really much to follow through with it. It looks like maybe it was just to set up B main control for 2 years.
Now look how difficult this is from Les and Kawanzin's point of view. you know, when this orb goes up, it's very difficult to know if someone on SEN is just quietly taking the timing through.
Point है बे. एक तरफा स्मोक किया गया है दोस्तों. एक तरफा प्यार की. Smoke का मिलन guys. Smoke का मिलन.
A minute 10 onto the clock, you can see those Seekers
Thagros वाला बड़ी guys.
in various
Thagros
different
वाला.
directions, but it doesn't really give SEN an indicator. They do know that a male is going to be free, or not male, but Robes itself.
Yeah, that Seeker went a long way before it hit Kawanzine over in A Heaven. So SEN have a pretty good idea that that path to A Heaven is fairly uncontested. And the dog here actually might give such bad
information. मैं थ्रो कर दूंगा. Point है. भाई इंस्टा लोग क्यों कर रहे हो? इंस्टा भाई ड्यूलिस्ट लेके किल नहीं करते भाई, मैं थ्रो कर रहा हूँ.
Certainly relying a lot on the mid round
ऐसा नहीं बोल रहा कि हो नहीं रहा.
Having set game plans going into the rounds.
Seekers of his own now, spotting all the way through into mid. Everybody bursting through. Now the snake bite. Used on the Q as he hears that Trailblazer. Where's the follow through now from the rest of the team? B main lost control of this one. There's going to be questions asked now of a lot of these loud anchoring players. They want to give it up entirely. Don't want anything to do.
Yeah. That paranoia thrown from Tens is lovely. Would have caught anybody over towards rafters, and yes, the time is low. But look how devastating this looks to retake.
वो इधर से उधर क्या कर रहा है?
You have a rolling thunder, but it's going to be utilized hopefully now to clear through into the bit. They've got this late lurk, the flying from Sassy, and yet he's caused all the distraction in the world. Gets out with his life, close to the corner, cut him up. Still, John QT. Quality tactics, quality time now with the whole family as he's sat back into the spectator. CQCK forward. Leading it with the team, but it's already wrapped around, so they got to expect the Sassy's there. There was a half clearance. Not
Very
enough.
good.
2 years TP adjustment. He's on that high ground position. Just propped up, but less now needs to get more done, and he can't do it.
Boosted है भाई ये लोग.
And pray, but already time ticking. 2 years, no chance in hell.
And it's another situation, Bren, where Loud cannot get any level of economic cushionry going.
Save it,
They're going to be knocked straight back down onto a low buy. And that adjustment, whatever it was that Sana came into the round, trying to inform the rest of his team, it did not work. They weren't ready for Sassy here in B Heaven, and they weren't ready for Sassy again once he repositioned into B main. It completely disrupted what Loud were going for there with the retake. The timing could not have been more perfect.
The way Sen working this map, I mean, it's a masterclass.
Yeah.
Speed running it.
It really is. There was a lot of talk based on their regional performances on Split that they might have the best split in the world. And you know, I was saying, be cautious. We haven't seen them play up against all the other teams in the world, but man, is it looking
full W, full W. कल से start.
The believers in the Sentinels split are getting their beliefs confirmed every time we watch.
Yeah, now heavy group up. The weaker buy here from Loud using that Trailblazer, trying to be fast onto the approach. Chance here, Zekin tries to adjust the spray, expecting players to swing from that left side. Tens evacuating, has a paranoia still left to play for, but the mollies are really clearing him out of position. What's the call now for Loud? Looks like a pivot.
Yeah, very mobile though. They've made it feel like it's ramp and they're already pressuring
Technical
screens.
change ulti करते हुए दोस्तों.
Stens is in their spawn, where they buy guns.
They don't have a clue. I mean, they've just caused them to all just be looking backwards as well. Les didn't have any sort of idea. He was just watching in case it was in mid. 2 years. One with a rifle, but no longer. Dropped to the floor, dropped to the deck. Quite able to do it.
एक गोली का था उसने पीक ले लिया.
Round winning play, but I think it was that cypher trip coming from John. He popped it over towards screens.
2-8 की सिचुएशन है मेरे दोस्तों. रिप्ले में यहाँ पे आपको दिखाया जाएगा कि कैसे देख रहे हो. साइफर डिलीट करो ब्रो प्लीज. गेम से साइफर डिलीट कर दो. मैं नहीं मानता कि साइफर की जरूरत है गेम में बिल्कुल भी. तो साइफर डिलीट कर दो. वाइपर के स्मोक में इसमें साइफर का ट्रैप. समझ रहे हो? इससे खतरनाक बात क्या हो सकती है?
To bring your spirits back
और अगर उसमें एक और मोली आ जाती ब्रिंग की, वाइपर की भी चलती. तो भाई खलास. मेरे साथ ऐसा हो जाए मैं तो गेम ही डिलीट कर दूं ब्रो. मैं दूसरी गेम में शिफ्ट हो जाता. और वो क्या ऐसी कोई गेम खेलने लगता है.
Taking a fight by himself. Yeah, there's back up there, but heads have fallen, heads have rolled, and now exactly what Loud ordered.
Yeah, player advantage situation, looking lovely for them. One away from a showstopper too.
मैं फिर CS:GO खेलता.
Able to get a plant down here. They're pretty certain that A is completely clear. They saw so many people fighting over mid. But this one is going to be tough, and Loud cannot afford to throw it away.
Yeah, just watching for it. Loud. Great awareness knowing that SEN has to be a bit more proactively making the moves into the post-plan situation. Sassy is the lone survivor, gets shut down by his former squad.
And so SEN, for about the first time in this half, tried to do something fast at the start of the round. And that actually results in Loud getting the round win. Every other round, we've seen Sentinels with a tortoise-like pace to the beginning of these, making sure that they are cautious, diligent about everything. And as soon as they step forward to try to take the fight, Loud are so happy. These players behind Zekken just got wide swung and minced.
इसके अंदर डाल दिया कैमरा तो पूरा.
Crucially as well, final round of this first half, the money's looking good, the ult's even better.
चलो 9-3 खर्च कर दूं, Loud भाई. चलो.
Play really much more aggressively now that he's got that.
Loud भाई, Loud team.
And the silver lining.
Loud भाई बोलते हैं. SEN भाई और Loud भाई.
Maybe it's doable.
तोता फोड़ा प्रतियोगिता में स्वागत है आप सभी का.
Securing those wins.
Clean with the rounds that are available to them now. Viprorb does throw a lot of just chaos into the mix. I mean, look at the amount of Loud players that's just gathered all the way into mid to watch it. They've got 3 players checked and ready.
Yeah. And Tense is still holding counter utility over towards B main. That timing was looking pretty good. Just
QC के Dragon कर रहा है.
They've spotted the up though. The call's been made to contact in through B main. So SEN have just got themselves a freebie there. Can now utilize this. Ult forwards. QCK. And now no Valley to be found there. Out wide once more. Still QCK's on a swivel. Molly's vulnerable to him up. Pushed him out into the open.
का movement कैसा मस्त था रे.
Collection of the kill. Now there's 45 seconds left. Chances to slow this one down, but it looks like SEN have no intention of it. Forward positions once more. Kawazin drops down from the ropes here, spraying down, but he's disjointed from the rest of his team. Kawazin out wide. The reset. Rolling Thunder lifts him up in the air, sky high, and then one player standing towards the back as a crossfire setup, but the aftershock is elite. Kawazin on for so much more. An ace on the cards, less to stick. This one comes down to the spam, but John is stunned. A tap, he's going to be out wide, he's going to be forced wide, knows it. Info, gathered now, but another stick now. Less finally to trust, maintained in his teammate, maintained in him, might be punished. A tap, out, force with the jiggle. John QT, balls of steel.
Let's go guys, let's go. What a round.
Kawazin was forced to reload in the middle of that.
John by full जोश में था, full जोश में था.
Reloaded. Les was still on the spike. Unbelievable timing from John. And Kawazin had done so much, more than anyone could have been asked to do. But the timing on that, of when to take.
बहुत बुरा हुआ यार, उसको S मिलना चाहिए था.
Superb.
It's perfection.
उसके साथ था यार. एक राउंड में उसके साथ था.
Unreal stuff. Well, we heard from John
उसने बहुत
earlier.
मस्त खेला यार, बहुत ही ज़्यादा.
Coming into this matchup.
कैसा full flow में मार रहा था सबको.
Hello, I'm John Curie and I'm the IGL for Sentinels. We definitely did a lot of mistakes and we looked rough. We've had 2 rough days, but we made sure to rally the team, everyone stay focused on the goal, and we won 2-0. I watched all of their VODs. I even came here and just spent all my time watching Split and Lotus. I've noticed their patterns and what they like to do, what's their tendencies. So it wasn't that hard to kind of guess what they were doing. I like to tell my teams the devil's in the details. Just
right towards the back TP on top. That's amazing. This man is terrifying.
भाई लेकिन क्या टाइमिंग.
All the way forwards, judge in hand.
Celestine को मिलना चाहिए था SCR में, उसके साथ था.
Still reinforcements arriving. The ring can't withstand it though. The pressure. It's too much. It's immense. This man is a thing of nightmares.
But best.
The mobility, the confidence.
टूट गया, मैं तो बर्बाद हो गया यार. Same bro, same वही feeling हो गई. टूट गया, मैं तो बर्बाद हो गया यार. कर दिया क्या मेरे को? अच्छा, उन लोगों का टेक्निकल डिफिकल्टी सब. नहीं मेरा है क्या?
Consistency is key at the end of the day. It's clearly
भाई
working
ये
out.
हाथ ऐसे कर रहा है इसको.
Talking about it, time in the off season, they've been winning a lot, but you know,
चलो guys,
a lot of hard work. They've shown some of the most maps of any teams coming into the kickoff, coming into entirely of this year. But part of that is just them honing these map pools. You know, all questions placed onto their split. Why do teams keep letting it through? Well, the reality is, this is a middle ground map for most teams.
Certainly true. Loud have come into this perma-banning Lotus, and Sen's Lotus looks good. That means you have to go towards this. So pistol round. Loud decided to take
एक
A
मिनट
round
मेरे को
control at the
वैलोरेंट चालू
start.
करना
Sen
है
wanted to fight over mid, but there was
मेरे को
nobody
सिर्फ देखना
there.
है कि मेरे स्टोर में
Loud has
क्या
still
है
got some people really far
वैलोरेंट
away
का
from the
स्पेलिंग क्या
action.
होता है
Real fast refight the stun. There's no connection there, so Les is able to just skip and hop away. But John QT is just this watchful eye onto it. There's a gap into the smoke. Maybe a bit unintentional there. Maybe just a bit rushed from 2 years.
Sen are also expecting there to be more players on site right now. Like, okay, well, where are the other 2 players for Loud? They lost track a little bit of where Kanzine and Tui's could be, and now they've lost a lot of map info too. There are still chances here for the Loud players to turn things around, but this silent jump spot not going to be punished.
Comes down to a couple of obstacles, really.
And look at the rest of Sen, tripled up, re-clearing areas of the map, trying to regain some information, making sure that they don't offer any 1v1s.
Yeah, methodical.
30 seconds.
You know the win conditions of Loud right now. And against it, slowly creeping forwards, making sure to regain some control. No kill found onto Kawazine. Less a chance, really, for him to bite back and fight back. Here it is. Return of the fire, 10s from the wraparound.
एंटी बोल दो जल्दी से लाउड को
2 years running all the way through. He knows the time's against him. So, pistol round does not go the way of Loud there. Sentinels, again, looking like just a map of pure domination.
Yeah, this could be extremely similar to the last time we saw these teams face on Split. As pure Sen domination. Sadak caught off guard by that one. Jump picking up the 2K. It's just enormous. That paranoia, by the way, too, lovely from Tens.
खत्म अभी मैच खत्म हो रहा है और इस मैच के बाद मैं भी जा रहा हूँ क्योंकि मेरे को फिर थोड़ा सोना पड़ेगा समझ रहे हो कल का डे थोड़ा डेंजर होने वाला है मेरे लिए आज भी डेंजर ही था but still guys we have to do it right 3 दिन की छुट्टी आ रही है guys Saturday Sunday and Monday दोस्तों फिर हम करेंगे boom bam bidim bidim boom boom
to stop them in their tracks, trying to take control of this. The dog broken before it even triggered into it.
Guys, Iron का बड़ी कल से start.
Reface, Elsis, that is incredibly
कल
brave.
से start.
Second, following through with the bullets as well as thinking that's just a wide bit of a gap there still.
कल से stringer start, guys.
All potential possibilities right now. Sadak has been pushed forwards into this deep.
Stringer से ऐसा दिखाऊंगा ना कि आपको आप बोलोगे भाई.
Chance of a timing.
VCT कब जा? मैं बोलूँगा क्या कर रहा है? ऐसा बोल दूँगा फिर मैं.
Unless Tuiz gets the jump on him.
No way! Just the ghost to him work.
That's bonkers.
Yeah, it's got the one ping, but there's no real follow-up from the players. I mean, they can't really react appropriately. He sends the util flying.
It's pulling Zelsis over. It is making the A site weaker here.
Second and John QT though. Cam back online.
शांति रखो guys, थोड़ा आवाज मत करो इन लोगों को साइट में अंदर. सिर्फ दबा के चल रहे लोग.
They'll be calling out now that they could have been compromised towards spawn, but now time running against them. Loud, get a move on. Cages, propped up, pushed up. Behind it, John QT can't follow through after that trip. There's a smoke in his face. It does make it quite dangerous, quite difficult.
और एक सामने.
In action. Only a few seconds remaining. Pull out the sidearm. Why not? And it gets the job done.
Let's go.
Really excellent teamwork and anchoring again there from Sen.
Sentinels.
Didn't have a cage for himself to be able to play inside of, but has a smoke there from a teammate. Somebody inside the smoke that he can spam off. Just really solid setup.
इसको भी दे दिया और स्मोक में दे दिया कि भाई दे ही देता हूँ कोई वो ही या वही.
They've refined it so well. And Loud.
कैमरामैन साइफर के साथ.
Force smacked of desperation. Down 3-11 with only sheriffs to work with. This one is a GG.
Technical tonnage.
That's brutal. Really brutal.
And the other 2 maps here are going to be, even if Loud were to win them, very hotly contested. It's not like Loud have a map themselves that they are guaranteed to dominate on.
No, they've got a Sisyphus level fight ahead of them, honestly. Uphill battle.
मेरे को feeling आ रही है.
Quite favored on their attack side. Sunset, I would give the edge to Sentinels.
Yeah.
So even if you do win on that second map to extend the series, it looks dire still. Anything can happen. Team like Loud, being around the block, they might be down and out right now, but
Iron सिर्फ मेरे नाइट मार्केट में थी मैं नहीं ली क्योंकि मैं गरीब हूँ.
A few more though. Openings not going to be given to them.
Half price पे हाँ.
Defensive setup for Sentinels just a little bit too strong, too well honed.
लेस भाई को डिलीट कर दो.
They've crossed every T, dotted
लेस
every
भाई को
I.
जमा कर दो नए राउंड के
You heard
लिए.
John talk about it too when he said the devil's in the details, right?
चलो पता
What
चल गया.
makes a
अब
team
तो घुस घुस के
excellent is
मारेंगे.
not
पनोरमा
just
करके
the
मार दो
macro,
भाई.
not just the shooting.
पनोरमा करके अनुपमा कर दो.
It's all the small things, the little interplays between players, the maximization of a certain piece of utility, knowing to always smoke this spot, knowing to always throw this nade.
जल्दी से GG लिखना start कर दो तब तक round खत्म हो जाएगा.
Split here, SEN approaching some levels of perfection on this map in the current meta. They are ahead of the game here.
True flattening.
And it's going to strike fear into the hearts of anybody else, because if you have a perma, you have to let this through.
Yeah, playing split against SEN, I mean, almost guarantees. Yeah, Sentinel's going to be taking it. They've only lost it a handful of times. One of them to this team that they're playing against now, Loud, but Sentinel's the kind of team getting knocked by their losses. Re-clearance called here with a flash and a paranoid. Well,
good counter flash.
Good one, yeah, from Kawazine.
Yeah, very important counter flash there. SEN are trying to set up plays like this.
भाई को heal कर दो फटाफट वो kill करेंगे अभी.
The two Spectres, the Bulldog.
दोनों के दोनों heal हो चुके हैं. दोनों के
So you get to see a slightly more aggressive version of their setup.
So goes the ebb and flow of the map.
But there are still chances for SEN to win this round and just dominate with the same scoreline that they did.
Flash rifle.
Oh भाई.
Bloody hell, that's a lot of damage.
देखो बहुत लेस कर दिया बे. Damage तो देखो.
Swinging wide, a bit of run and gun in the reaction. Called now from Loud. Into the site. Will they be able to get the plant down? Looks like they will do so. Too much pushback.
There isn't very much retake utility here for SEN. Normally their retakes are amazing, but there's really only a boombot to work with.
Boom boom.
I mean, the smoke up. 1 second here.
Boom boom and set.
Using it probably to block off one of the angles. Just jiggling for now. There it is, actually dividing up the site. Paranoia flying with the fault line. Time. Time to tick. A crucial kill. Zealous is falling on top heaven. TP forwards. Backside control, at least partitioning in it and trying to take it wide. Still with that util online. The aftershock does push him away. Attack from John QT, but forcing the fights out into the open. The snake bites, plenty of util here. So Loud, really well played into that one. Just understanding how to play that fully, just using the util.
And it's officially now a closer game than it was during the grand final, where SEN won 13-3. But man, it doesn't feel much closer.
No. I mean, this round almost I'd say a givey, but
it was a bonus.
कैसा लिया दो को?
SEN didn't have as much util
Killiston is clear, bro. Killiston is clear.
Round at a time, it's all the way, you got to take it.
Killiston is sorry.
Yeah, and we've seen them pull off big comebacks before.
Counts in. इसका नाम थोड़ा वो है.
Lose leads before as well, but listen, we won't talk
कौन है
about
तो फिर?
We won't talk about it.
चलो और एक क्वेश्चन मेरी जिंदगी पे.
Look at the timing there, just beautiful, great read.
कल से Phantom start. कल से Phantom start, guys.
Less dropped. I mean, this is your star player.
कल
This is the
से
guy you're
Stinger
expecting to put
and
up
Phantom only.
massive numbers, who's going to offset that mechanical advantage that a team like Sentinels might have with players like Second, like Tens. The desk was talking about it. When you shut down here, your chances begin to dwindle. Trip in their face. There's no protocols at all to really deal with that one. Should have known it was there, surely, if they were walking all the way up. TP forwards. It is just being toppled and crumbled. All the opportunities in this round here for Loud. QCK with a nade does get the one onto Celsius.
Spike is down in such an open position, though. It sends to close out.
And Sadak, it's inevitable, yeah, the double face in the end. That is one of the most one-sided maps we've seen. Two of our top teams here in playoffs. But Sentinels are primed and ready. This is a team angry. They want to go deep, they want to go forwards. They know they've had obstacles, they know it's been tough for them. But that was just a dismantling of the opening map.
I don't know whether Sentinels have, been talking to EDG and told them they'd get revenge, but they just stomped Loud in the same way that Loud stomped EDG.
Absolutely impeccable work. We'll send it to a quick break on the other side of things. Plenty more action where that came from.
दो मिनट की बारी है. आइसबॉक्स है यार मेरा फेवरेट मैप. क्या करूं यार फिर?
Excuse me, would you mind taking a picture of us?
इतना अच्छा मैं खेल रहा था यार. दो मिनट गैस 2 मिनट. फिर से हम आ चुके हैं. अरे let's go. Let's go. 2 मिनट के लिए गाइस, 2 मिनट के लिए मेरा पपलू गेम देखो, पपलू गेम ओपी। ओके मैं थोड़े से मारूंगा। डीपीआई लो करना पड़ेगा मेरे को, बहुत आए हो रहा है इसके लिए। नहीं ये बहुत आए है। 400 किधर गया मेरा? हाँ चल 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 चल। ये कैसे फेल दिया मेरे को? ये कैसे फेल दिया उसने? कल हाँ चल बे चिंगूस, इधर है क्लियर। इधर लड़ रहे क्या? डेंजर प्लेयर। 1 मिनट 20 सेकेंड। लेट्स प्ले अनदर गेम गाइस। क्रैकर नाम है इसमें मेरा। Brother, I am already pro. ये गेम पहली बार आई। अरे ये क्या गेम हुआ?
Oh, great choice of extracurricular activities there from Coach Captain. I'm your host, Yingsu, and I'm back here with Mimi and Hypog. They look so good.
It's the park, man. I went to that park. It's lovely. They ride around on a little rowboat. There's peacocks.
They
in the
had
park.
a boating day for sure. For sure.
How could they not 13-4 Loud?
How come we don't perform like this like after we go boating?
Yeah, I can't understand one, unfortunately. But I mean, to take nothing away, now if there was any discussion ahead of this, I know Josh said on the cast as well, there is no question. Sentinel split is seemingly flawless. Like, they do not miss a beat. And every single decision you see along the way in some of these rounds, so even coming down to mid-rounding, the decisions of the individuals are automatic. They're firing on all
They look so drilled. We talk a lot about this team's defense and how good their retakes are, how good their protocols are. But look at how they're playing their post plans as well. They're setting up forward here. Zelsis has a molly off his teammate's contact, and then they're ping-ponging off each other to take that fight together. This is another round where once they get into post plan, they're going for these executes with the double dive between Tens and Zekin, which always looks incredible. And again, look, Zekin has a nade prime ready to go towards that. They have so many layers to these post plans, and really it seems to every stage of this map.
So yeah, sorry, just caught my breath for a second there. I think as well, Loud, just an inability to really throw them off their game, right? There was no pressure towards the backline, the weaker extremities ahead of some of these executes coming in. Unfortunately, Loud just didn't really get a look in. And with the way Sentinel's been playing, how well drilled things are, if you let this Sentinels execute on you, you're losing time and time again.
Yeah, and I want to shout out to the fragging IGL on the other side too for Sentinels. John QT, take a look at this. A Hyper X reflex. I felt like every round when he was still alive, Mimi, something magical was going to happen.
I mean, this was after Cow and Zine got a 4K, almost gets the ace in this round, and then John just plays the clutch to perfection. He's not always the flashiest player, but when you put him in a position he needs to step up, he seemingly always does, Mike.
Yeah, he does, and looked absolutely ice cold afterwards as well. Giving him a wave to close out the half. It's heartbreaking to see Loud lose rounds like this, but like I said, with the individuals on Sentinels, not even Zekin and Tens, in scenarios like this, stepping up, this is the plan B. How scary is that for every other team?
I mean, everything is just coming together beautifully for them, but the job is not done. The job is not done just yet. They are one map up, but let's go right down and hear what Loud's coach STK has to say ahead of Icebox.
Welcome back, Mika Fabs here, now with... Welcome back, Mika Fabs here, now with STK of Loud. And now that was a very tough first map. What was the team struggling with the most, and how do you guys plan to remedy that going into Icebox?
I think that we entered in the game with a game plan. This game plan didn't work. Unfortunately, they adapted themselves, so they have a lot of merit on that. So on Icebox, we are more comfortable on the map. Like we have more plays on this map. So I think that's about this, reset about the first map, that anything went good, and go for our full power right now.
Well, Loud is a team that you can't ever count, so let's see if they're able to bounce back on Icebox.
Exactly, Mika. Well put. But the thing is, Mimi, what are Loud's game plans for Icebox? What do they do?
So they play this Harbor Viper comp that they've been playing for a while, but they execute on it really well. Last time they played, the thing that impressed me the most was their protocols in plant denial and retakes. They're very good at kind of timing how they're using their mollies to delay their opponent's plant, then going for these flood retakes that with the Harbor Viper are really effective. This is a map where I think you get to see the experience, the fundamentals of Loud on full display. They've played this comp for a while. They have a lot of variations of how they want to set up with it, especially on this defensive side. This is the comfort zone for the Brazilians.
Comfort? I don't know. Call me a doubter, whatever.
Obviously,
this being the anomaly of the grand finals for me, is a very, very close fought affair, a 13-11 scoreline regionally, but I don't feel like we're getting the same Loud here. Other than obviously the EG series apart, I don't think really Loud are in a position today to throw
guys, मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ?
Obviously, previously, Les has been a standout individual for Loud.
मेरी बात सुनो. अभी के लिए इतना ही रखते हैं क्योंकि मेरे को कल ऑफिस जाना है. तो ये आप अपने हिसाब से देख लो थोड़ा सा, ओके? मैं थोड़ा सा देखूंगा और फिर सो जाऊंगा, ओके? क्योंकि मेरे को कल जाना है और थोड़ा काम भी है, ओके? और कल मेरे को जल्दी भी उठना है. बाकी 3 दिन की छुट्टी आएगी, उसमें अपन बूम बाम बीडीम कर देंगे, समझ रहे हो? तो आज के लिए बस इतना ही. मिलते हैं एक नई स्ट्रीम में कल, ओके? थैंक यू सो मच फॉर वॉचिंग मी. बाय बाय, गुड नाइट, सायोनारा.